gonna say I'm gonna do a beat.
Make it stop.
Rain?
It's
Why?
time to
Why?
stop.
Why did you?
Rock, paper, scissors, right? We don't want Eve to be as simple as shut the fuck up, Seto!
Floods of like memes, and these small gangers are like, we're the elite of the elite. Do not fuck with us. We will kill you. We are the best players ever. It's like, dude, I did your shit. I did it better than you did.
You know what this conversation is like? When I say not enough supers die in Dell, and people tell me, oh look, there's a super died in Dell. So it's like, when
What
I'm
are
talking
you
about
even
the balance
talking
issue,
about? We were talking about fucking balance, not supers
Yeah.
dying in Dell.
Look,
Why does
look.
everything with you have to be about supers fucking dying in
Shut
Dell?
up! Shut up!
Christ!
It's an analogy, moron. It's an analogy. Okay?
You guys stop arguing. You act like a fucking married couple. Jesus
No,
Christ.
don't stop arguing.
It's an
Well, it is trash talk Tuesday.
I was like,
Oh, wait. They said it's silent. Everybody said it's silent. The whole thing. Okay. Yeah. God. God
Dude,
damn it.
Does
God,
Redline's voice get
God
deeper or
damn it.
something?
All right, Rain. Rain, go again.
Hi, everyone. I'm Redline. We're back with Trash Talk Tuesday, the third best talk show on Tuesdays. I had a bunch of other clever stuff I said, but anyway, we have the normal hosts here, including Loki and Seto, which we'll probably talk to them a bunch tonight. Then we have a bunch of guests, so if everyone could say hi in 3, 2, 1.
hello.
3, 2,
Hi.
1.
I'm not
Thank
saying
you.
it again. Not doing it again. I did it once and you fucked
I can't
up.
believe we had to listen to that twice. God damn it,
My
Redline.
joke
It was better
so
the
funny.
second time.
No, I'm not blaming Rain. I'm blaming Redline. It's all Redline's fault, like
Yeah.
usual.
That's fault.
Everything is Redline's fault. Wait,
Confirmed.
So
Yeah,
anyway, for those catching up, our goal tonight is to not talk about the war, or to talk about the war indirectly if so needed. So we may try to kick things off with the big news that everyone's kind of been talking about the last 24 hours with the feed and Amamake, as folks are calling it.
It was an even trade, actually.
We prefer the term feet in Amamake. So we prefer you use that term.
Okay, so before Wally gets here, can someone explain to me what happened? I heard Wrecking Crew jumped in to bash a Keepstar and then got dunked on. But like that's super vague. I don't know if anyone has more.
Well, I guess I'll kick it off here. I am Vry from Snuffed Out, and we have been over the past several weeks down in our summer vacation in our vacation home down in Lantorn and Heimatar space down near Amamake. Getting some fights and having a good time. And we decided to take on Siege Green a little bit and ref some of their structures, and because their time zone we can play some during Korean time zone and stuff like that. Wrecking Crew decided to come and deploy to help Siege Green up near Amamake and Lantorn. I believe they're staged out of Lama. They have a Keepstar there. And we've been getting some pretty good fights. Wrecking Crew has recently fed entire Macarial fleets to carrier fighters, and recently came up with the Chori doctrine of just throwing Vexers at a Fortizar, hoping to pause it and kill it. So last night was a move by Wrecking Crew. After they killed our Lantorn Fortizar, we moved 2 jumps over to Amamake, which has a public Keepstar. So we moved into there and settled in, and it looks like Wrecking Crew decided that they wanted to go ahead and attack a public Keepstar for some reason. I don't know who does that, but to attacking a public Keepstar that a lot of people use seems kind of rude to me. So that's what led up to this.
So they start bashing it and you guys just counter dropped it. Was this just an instance where they just didn't expect you guys to have the numbers, like I'm assuming dread bomb them, or was it something else?
So Snuffed Out is primarily EUTZ, right? We're about 90% EUTZ. We have a few US time zone guys, but not really. We've kind of beefed it up a little bit since Israd came back. But But yeah, so like Wrecking Crew has provided a really cool thing. They have a 24-hour stream going of Amamake, and pretty much wherever we're deployed at the time. And it's pretty dead most of the time. Like you'll see 1 or 2 people in that stream occasionally. But like for some reason, whenever Wrecking Crew decides to do something, that channel number goes up. So all you got to do is just keep an eye on that channel. And like some of the usual characters start showing up and they're watching it. And we noticed a spike in that and decided to just keep an eye on stuff and see how it developed from there.
You're talking Twitch channel.
Yes, Twitch channel. That's right. They have a 24-hour Twitch stream of wherever we're staged.
They
Wrecking
keep
Crew
it
does.
up in public.
I'm sorry?
They keep it up publicly, so like
Yes.
folks like us here can. Okay,
Yes.
that's usually
In fact, if you go under the EVE Online, area, it's one of the ones there. I believe the Wrecking Crew person has named it Tau AD Wannabe Pirate, which is ironic because they've been eating the poo-poo to us for the last couple weeks.
a huge mistake.
So,
Probably. All right, go on. Sorry.
All you have to do is just watch the channel numbers, and if Wrecking Crew is going to do something, their numbers go up pretty heavily. So it's actually been a really cool public service for us. So we appreciate it. So thanks, guys.
Also watch like on not alt accounts, so like you can see them in chat and everything.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like you'll see like actual people like people's Spartans in there all the time, and he usually shows up before an op and stuff like that. So you can always just kind of like just keep an eye on it occasionally. And if RC people with their real names start popping into Twitch chat, it's been fantastic. Like that stream has been amazing for us.
Big mistake, dude. What were you gonna say, Redline?
Oh, not Redline, but I was gonna say what Snuff did is they tactically lost the Titan to boost the RC numbers, right? So then we got really, really confident, and we were like, you know what we can do? They don't have anything in USTZ. They fed a Titan, right? Now we can commit all of our Titans on that grid, you know? So they've been really like thinking weeks ahead in time, and it's just amazing.
Yeah, give them overconfidence or whatever.
Oh yeah.
I also saw so this was confusing to me, right? So I'm my character, my main is in Pandemic Legion. So I'm blue to I think it's Wrecking Crew, and I saw some fraternity folks there. But I know at one point Pandemic Legion was blue to NSH, and I saw NSH on the grid. I think they were on the Snuff side. Was that sort of them showing up as a third party and shooting Titans, or was that planned in advance?
I'll hand that over to Wheeler.
They got initial tackle, but they're really bad at tackling, so they only tackled 7 out of whatever number we had there. I can't even remember.
11? Terrible tackling.
Try again, friendo, but whatever.
I don't know.
Can't even count. My God, how can you tackle when you can't even count?
I couldn't see anything on that grid. Honestly, it was all chaos for me.
Also, I just want to throw that out there. Vi, you literally sounded like Pandemic Legion in 2015 when you said, we went to our summer home in Amawaka. I was like, Jesus Christ, did we just like revert 5 years in Eve? Holy fuck.
Well, some could say that, the mantle has been passed on. We are the kings of Losec.
Yeah, you guys are 1,000 times worse than PL ever was. PL was actually good. You guys are just fucking confident.
I guess it's pretty awkward then for you guys to lose Titans to Shitlers. So, just makes you think. That puts you guys even lower.
Well, like Shitlers and their.
I never said I was good.
Getting really deep into the ideology, like really quick. You guys.
What did dock workers do?
Shot one of the faxes. I think they were on the Wrecking Crew side.
Workers were on RC side. NSH showing up was a complete surprise to us, as I think everyone can guess.
Yes, it was very, very sneaky.
Did NSH swing the numbers or the strategy in Snuff's favor, or were they just kind of there?
No, NSH were the numbers because Snuff had 50 people basically at the end of the day, right? Like they were the bad phone that Snuff needed in order to contest Wrecking Crew, just like fucking Volta, Pandemic Horde, Frat. Who else am I missing? What other bad phones did we do? All of those people were also CVA was bad phoned at one point. So I just mean those are the numbers necessary to create a scenario where Snuff can actually win against us. So that is they did. So I mean they all died on the way. Like CVA never actually got there. But but they tried. So I mean, I don't know, dude. Like that's Snuff are a good group of guys, and they're tactical and shit like that. But they're
very
relying on
very...
they're relying on other alliances to.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
To try
NSH did get
to win,
tackled last night. It's not like Snuff tackled us. It was fucking NSH tackling us. So honestly, the props either got the
Man.
NSH and Snuff just fucking did their
No,
typical
It's
egotistical
interesting to me
bullshit.
that you're talking a lot here about bat phones and stuff when Wrecking Crew has over 7,000 characters in that super mega blob alliance.
You know what would be crazy though?
Snuffed has 900, I think.
Is if RC didn't like backstab and fuck over all the people that could have come and helped them.
Exactly.
Well, it's funny to me that we
That's
still get people to
wild
come
to
help
me.
us. Isn't it, Redline, that we can still get people to come and say, hey, look, these guys are being super dumb with their stuff, and they've got this huge overconfidence. Hey, Wheeler, you interested in fragging idiots? And Wheeler's like, I love fragging idiots. And he shows up and frags idiots. Like, that seems to me to be a W. Like, I'll take a W.
And you guys have backstabbed pretty much everyone in the game by this point.
Pretty much. NSH has nothing of value, so it's
literally
not a big deal.
stabbed their own fucking CEO, and it's been a train wreck ever since.
I think that's discounting the fact also. My bad. I think it's discounting the fact also that in the past like 2-3 months, the NSH has had its own objectives in the game, and that Wrecking Crew showed up to all of those objectives. Literally all of them. Not a single thing we've done in the past 2 months ish hasn't been bat phone to Wrecking Crew or Dread Bomb, I guess, extendedly. And so it's when there's an opportunity to kind of get back a little bit, and that opportunity kind of is incredible. There's no chance that you don't go for it, right? Like you got to go for it.
No, yeah.
Wheeler, you're NSH, right?
Okay.
I've got one
NSH.
question.
Oh, go ahead.
Why do you guys use Hull Moroses? They're just worse if you have armor links. I don't understand.
Haw? Is that what you said, or Hull?
Hull ton. Like all the bulkheads.
Don't tell them secrets. Let them keep using them.
I don't do anything
Secrets
fitting
are on
wise.
Z-Kill, buddy.
Yeah. I don't do anything
I
fitting
didn't-
wise,
so
so I
confused.
can't even answer that for you, buddy.
Keep using them, Wheeler. They're amazing. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
Honestly, I looked at the fit, and the whole thing Morris is actually, the fit is pretty legit from what I can see. It's 3.1 mil raw EHP, and you're not committing to expensive Tech 2 plates or anything like that, so you reduce your overall cost by probably $1.5 billion in some cases, right? And you're getting basically the same EHP as a Revelation.
You just shit damage out too. I think I had a Hull Morris that was on Giannis's Titan, and I got top damage because Hull Morris master, but whatever.
I like
Thomas's buff.
When you
I
have
am fucking buff. What do you
when
know?
you have threads in that size, you have armor links, and the armor and shield links that you get, it makes it so your EHP is greater than the hull, and you're able to drop out of siege if you get lucky and they start shooting you near the end of a cycle, and you're able to catch up some apostles and shit.
Yeah, I think that the powers that be that make that fit did not think that bonus was worth the, I guess, whatever bonus the hull gives to EHP. So I don't do any of that. So
For
keep it
suicide
that way,
bonuses,
they're great.
you have like 30 mil of low slots. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of, shout out to the Dock Workers Titans who jumped out
Fucking
immediately.
bye.
Who jumped out immediately as our Hector's loaded grid. So good allies there.
That's not a bad idea. In considering what's going on.
Fuck cowards, dude. Fair weather friends are the worst kinds of friends.
Honest question: was the call made to just instantly get out, or was?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, then, if the call was made to just run,
they were told to jump out as soon as the sign went up.
I said,
hello.
So I mean, obviously, then they didn't do anything wrong. They were just quick to react, right?
Well, I mean, technically, but morally, right? You run into the moral argument here of your buddies are eating poo poo.
Have you checked?
Not really. I mean, it was at that point. It was just trying to not
Are we
get as many
playing
tackles as we
morality
could've.
online?
Like
It becomes, in that kind of a situation, it almost instantly becomes a cut your losses to the minimum possible kind of
exactly.
situation.
Like there was no scenario there where I was telling Titans to stay on grid. Like as soon as that started going down, I was like, okay, you can get off. If not, sorry, we'll do our best. But
Yeah. When 50 hicks land, you don't fucking stick around and see what's happening. You just get the fuck out.
I mean, you could though. You could have stuck around and seen what was happening. You would have seen it a
And
lot
and
brighter.
seven of them, seven of them did.
So what? Gosh, I don't even know what to say about this.
I mean, part of it is like, I was on this terrible talk show several months ago when we killed the Bascarin and the other keep star Ignatian, right? And Loki was talking some trash, and I told him we were coming down here. I literally broadcast that intel early, right? And he was like, "Come on, bring it." And
On what group were you even a part
here
of?
we are, bud.
Yeah, is there any I'm curious?
Don,
I
I
guess,
thought
is
you
there
were in
any
Goons
of sorry, is Don talking?
Is Don
Well,
talking?
no, she has some issues, so she's just listening, but it looks like she's talking. I know.
Yeah, it's just it's
I
bugged.
talked to
Ignore
her,
that. Ignore that. So I do want to just make sure that we're all on the same page. That you were on this terrible talk show a few months ago, and it's still terrible. Just so we're all clear. So some things
It's
never
good.
change.
I was gonna say it's good to know that in this world some things never change. But yeah, like I told Loki that we were coming down, and he told me to bring it, and I figured now's the time to tell him consider it brought. If you want to have a go again,
Don,
we'll take the opportunity.
I thought you were in Goons.
Yes, she can't.
Don is in Goons.
She is.
Then what are you even talking about? You weren't even
That's
involved.
not Don.
That's not Don. It's Vry
It's
talking.
Vire.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Oh
It's
my
different.
god.
You thought that was Don?
By the way, this is your Super FC talking, so just
Don, you got very masculine all of a sudden.
So that was good, man.
Non-stop talking shit.
I just don't come on here enough.
It was Don level of chest beating, but
this is true.
Oh, yeah. So I mean, I guess right. You're right. You're absolutely right, dude. I only wish I had been able to, I guess, been a part of the fleets leading up to this. I was a part. I was a line member, but unable to bring my FC prowess against the Great Snuff Alliance. So hopefully that changes soon.
Okay, looking forward to it. It'd be great.
But yeah, I mean,
So
absolutely.
wait,
And I'm
what
not
you're
going to be.
saying?
So,
Are you saying that if you were there, things would have gone differently?
I think that's what I heard.
Well, you mean if I had dropped Titans on a fucking Keepstar at Mamaki? No, things would have gone the same. That's not what I'm saying at all. But what I would like to say is, I have absolute I think you guys played that particular one perfectly. You guys have also been playing pretty much everything by the book at this point. So it doesn't really leave us all that many options, to be honest. That's why you randomly got this fucking stupid ass Vexer strategy, which I don't understand.
Can we talk about that real quick?
Me want to kill myself.
Hold on. You actually brought up. I was actually going to bring this up too. So you guys bridged into that fight a huge Mac fleet, carriers, Shadow Cartel, again one of your bat phones, brought in a full Cerberus fleet, and then 2 minutes later you guys undock Vexers. What's going on there? Please, as somebody watching from the outside, explain to me the thought process.
So I guess somebody thought that we didn't have enough max. I don't know.
What's up with that ping afterwards too from Rocket, justifying the fact that a core point and unsuccessfully did not reinforce anything? I guess. What was that all about?
Also, there were
jump clones, dude.
There were 3 of us that jump cloned. By the way, Rocket said everybody did, but there were 3 of us. I undocked a carrier, and one of our guys undocked 2 Hodreds. So I don't know where the idea is that all of Snuff jump cloned. It was 3 of us. I was like, yeah, I'll go mess with them. So
yeah, and what time was that even at? Clearly, all of Snuff could not have jump cloned if it was USTZ.
Yeah. Well, it was EU. It's our
oh, okay.
It wasn't USTZ. Yeah, it was on the weekend. So I mean, yeah, but I mean, honestly, you guys have been playing it by the book. I'll grant you that, man. I'm not gonna sit here and talk shit because honestly, I don't think I really have the grounds to do that at all.
They've played it well after they lost a Titan the first time. Just saying.
Well, yeah, but I mean, we just capitalized on what the game gave us, right? Which is all that we really could do. And
Except they pulled a fucking boneheaded move, jumping in with 9 Titans, because they thought they were cool shit.
No, this is I think after last night it's pretty clear. So do you remember when we had that little dread brawl in USTZ? And they escalated super baity, and none of them had fucking slave clones, and their I'm pretty sure their dreads weren't fit the same, although I can't confirm that because I really didn't check. It just seemed like they were trying to escalate in the way that I would escalate with a group if I really wanted to fuck them in the ass and in USTZ at that. I think that whatever the fuck, I think NSH may have been in that card at that point, or they had some kind of set play with the Hicks or something like that. Like I kind of think last night was like a kind of little set kind of play arrangement that they already had that kind of just we kind of played right into. I would assume.
It didn't seem like it was set. That they just watched that stream to see when you
You
guys
don't think
were
that Undocking
coming on,
being,
and then
being able to come up with
Redline,
50
hold on.
fucking Hicks and pulling them out of your ass immediately?
I'm just saying
Redline,
that's what
if you're legit like following the fact that like the stream is what gave them that intel, like they 100% had told their dudes like, hey, be on at 0230, like Wrecking Crew's forming to do something, we're gonna react accordingly, and they did. I mean the whole fucking stream thing is literally just not true. I mean maybe in EU time zone, but like they knew they knew exactly that we were gonna do something and that we were gonna commit heavily to something, and they told dudes to be awake, and that's what happened.
No. See, you don't understand. Like, as part of being a member of Snuff, one of the things that we require is that you be a NEET, right? Not an employment, education, or technology. You have to have zero life, no job, nothing going on in your life.
Exactly. You were just
like, but I'm saying like these alarm clock, like they alarm clock. Like you understand, like people don't like just naturally don't sleep. I think Tau functions on like 2 hours of sleep a night and then runs 5 miles once he wakes up in the morning. Like
Tau's scary as fuck, dude. Being a USTZ guy and near Tama, where like Snuff usually lives, or not Tama, sorry, Raka. That's like fucking scary. Like you have like 4 hours of USTZ before Tau wakes up, basically.
Yeah. No, the guy literally like sleeps like suspended from the ceiling like a bat, right? Like he just does not sleep. So like
it was them being awake. Like all credit to them here for this. Like it is all credit to them. Like there is nothing like that I would like that was perfectly played, perfectly executed. We got fucked. We took the L.
But next time, if Loki's FC, you will rue the day. That's
Yeah.
what I heard.
Indeed.
That's not what I fucking said, Rundle. But I mean, sure.
They'll rue
You were talking about
Loki, you've got this, man. I believe in you.
In the hell.
Your FC prowess would have, you didn't get a chance to put it up against them.
I am curious. Like I even asked like other FCs in my alliance last night. Like, would we do that? Like would we put Titans on a fucking Keepstar randomly, kind of like that? And I like can't like. What was like the thought process?
The thought process was we had been taking fat L's, and you get Snuff moves to a Keepstar that's timed for US time zone. We say, hey, let's do the initial and see what happens. We start the initial, and then we then proceed to get dropped on. That was the thought process. We were doing the initial to possibly, go on the offensive instead of just, the only counter we have is bringing mass Macarials and feeding them because, we can't escalate against Snuff in EU time zone. And clearly, if they have everyone awake, not in US time zone, I mean, that's the dead set obvious point. So I'm not on an EU time zone. So like, the strategy for EU to kill those Fortizars was, do your best to defang fighters and just throw subcaps at it till it dies because, we wanted the fort dead. That was the end of the goal. And
so what's next?
That is a very good question.
I can use Vexers.
Top should be in ballsy on the Keepstar for sure.
I mean, it was the thought process was okay. It's a US time zone keep. Let's do the initial. Let's see what happens. See how they react to the armor timer. And of course, we got dunked on.
So here's my question though.
If you're talking about what's next, I mean, they ref CC'd this morning, so
they ref the CSI Keepstar?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Again?
Oh god, it's Vertiso. Hello, Vertiso. Welcome
Hi,
to
Vert.
the show.
Oh shit! It's fucking.
The secede Keepstar actually belongs to Snuff.
That's
what
right.
I'm pretty sure that
Speed Green is actually
you can probably pay for it at this point if you talk to a restaurant.
Yeah, but no, like no bullshit. If you can't contest them in EUTZ, you can't contest them in USTZ. Where can you contest them, and What are you
That's-
even going to do with
I
it?
mean,
It's not a matter. It's not a matter of contesting snuff. It's a matter of contesting snuff and all of their bad phones. That's
Of course. I mean, that's the
key,
thing
right?
is you have to contest all of them, and if you can't contest all of them, what are you even going to do?
The thought process to sit back and reevaluate what the hell we're gonna do, and that's what you can do at this point. You sit back, you're like, okay, we took losses. What do we do to fix and change? And that is the stasis we're in. I mean, I'll be honest, like that is the point we're in. At an RC level, we sit back, reevaluate, and figure out what we need to do differently or different approaches to possibly come out with a win. But that's how the whole game is. We just grow and adapt.
Is there ever like a point?
Your feeble brain, just because your feeble brain can't come up with anything, Redline doesn't mean someone else can.
But I'm curious too. Is there ever like a point in like RC, and maybe this might be like OPSEC, where you're like, maybe we don't go fuck with these guys because later on we might need extra help in like USTV.
Those calls to go to your timers were not my calls, and I wasn't really a part of them. It was just
not even like our
here's the
timers,
thing, Admiral Wheeler. It's like in U.S. time zone, it is hard to find content because most of the U.S. time zone groups, the big ones like NC, the Test, the Legacy, are all on Delve, and the only other big U.S. time zone entities would be Wrecking Crew and you guys. So and the few guys in Venal and area. So that's why they were coming to those timers, because it was content that it was hard to come by at the time. They were taking rumbles. It wasn't like, oh, we have a hate boner for NSH. I mean, now it is because of last night, but and that's understandable. But previously, it was just, there's a U.S. timer. We haven't done anything in a week. Let's go.
Well, I get the point that everybody's got to eat at a certain point, but there's also even in our command chat, there's we have talks of is this strategically for later, against, and we all before yesterday, even NSH was worried about stuff. And we all got to consider that kind of stuff.
I mean, the whole thought process was after y'all's history, you would never work with him. But clearly, I mean, the hate boner for RT grow hot.
A dunk is a dunk. What do you?
Oh, I mean, I'm not blaming them, but still, they NSH. There had been previous times, in the past 3 months, where NSH could have gotten involved and they didn't. So it looked like they were staying out of the conflict until last night. I mean, I'm not blaming them for coming and doing a dunk. If I was in their shoes, I would have done the exact same thing.
I mean, to me, it seems like you complaining about U.S. time zone and all the groups that are, involved in the war in Delve. Shouldn't you guys be involved in the war in Delve since you're technically PanFam pets? Shouldn't that be something you're involved with?
I don't know if they're PanFam.
I mean, if you think of it, I mean, PL and NC have shown up to their timers before. Horde's shown up to their timers before. Horde did the other day.
They're not showing up now. I mean, it's just how it is.
So to me, it's like if you're complaining about, oh, there's no content for U.S. time zone, and Daddy is down in
fight you,
and Daddy's down in Delve.
Rocket is pretty good at the mouth hugs, okay? He's good at earning those friendships.
I'm not following, right?
Legitimate question.
Is the narrative that that RC are PanFam pets? Or that
Well, see, this is a big misunderstanding. This shows a cultural misunderstanding that we have, whereas we don't really care about what a narrative is. The whole word of a narrative is boring and tedious and lame. We just like explosions. We really like explosions.
Change your fucking mic, though. It's really funny though being called PanFam pets when I'm pretty sure High took all of Matani's dick back when the moon changes came out, and
I mean,
it's really the only way. It's really the only way that Snuff can survive.
You had to reach way back for that one, Ninja.
It wasn't the GSF director named. Oh yeah, Jay Maziness, who fucking sold you your entire fucking super fleet.
That's right. Yeah,
exactly.
Perfect. We took the money and ran.
There's nothing wrong with getting on your knees for a bit of Super and Titan action, okay? There's nothing wrong with that.
If someone's gonna say, "Hey, we'll sell you Supers and Titans if you do this," and you need/want them, then why would you not? I mean, that's like anything. You can't blame them for that. They got on their dig, sucked some, got their thing, and then later on down the line, almost a year ago this time, you guys were dunking on goons in Pure Blind area. When they push
nothing wrong. It's nothing a bit of mouthwash can't get rid of, right? You just close your eyes. Just close your eyes, think of the Titans, and just
It'll
get on with it.
over. Yeah. Soon, right? Why did the initiative start showing up to snuffed out timers recently? I thought that bridge had been thoroughly burned after last year.
Dude, look at what happened, right?
Who would not come for dunks? I mean, that's the serious point.
Yeah.
There's battleship feed after battleship feed. Who would not go for that? I mean, that every other game in the entity in the game that's not involved with the war has barely anything to do right now. So why would they not go?
The initiative. Are you saying the initiative is not involved in the war?
No, we're
no,
saying
they
that
have. But
like imagine
what have
being
they
told.
done? They've just been burning structures. Like
Imagine
if someone came to you and said, "Hey, find a route to here. There'll be battleships to kill." Would you not look
not
for a
just
route there?
battleship, faction battleships and entire
Yeah.
fleets of them. These guys are going to suicide into a fort.
Yeah.
It's free
And
kill.
Vexers.
There you
Just
go.
think of it this way. Think of it this way. We've been running incursions, right, for the last like 2 weeks with carriers, and then we finally got the HQ spawn in Amamaki last night. That's
There
pretty
you go.
much what
There
it's
you go,
been.
Vert. That's the way you should look at it. That's actually really fucking funny.
That's pretty much what it is. And like, come on, like people, like most people who play the game, right? The guys that log in and actually like do put the ships in people's fleets, and the people that play the game, most of them don't really care about what ticker people have, right? Like if someone's like, look, we've got half an hour, 2 hours, whatever, nothing else is really going on. Do you want to go and have some fun? That's pretty much all it needs to be, right? It doesn't have to be a vitriolic speech behind it. It doesn't have to be a 2-hour fireside explaining why you need to go and shoot the things. Some people just like shooting things.
The whole morale and reasoning for going to do stuff like the big firesides, I think are just pointless. I mean, if you're gonna go shoot someone, go shoot someone.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like have some fun. Like especially in low
Like,
sec
the
where
whole
like
point
none
of
of
the
this
game
matters.
none of it matters. The whole point in the game is to shoot stuff and blow shit up. Like, I mean, if you're playing it for PvP, some people play it to mine or do production, like be crabs, or be in high sec. But like most people, at least in the null sec, who listen to this or who will pay any attention to the game, will play to PvP, not to sit on their ass.
Can you
So
guys
like,
To be
fair,
can you get a
stop
pop
agreeing
filter
with
for
each
your mic?
other?
is
You guys
in
have to stop
I
agreeing
mean,
with
some
each other.
people just
it's hard
really-
not to agree with them when like everything they did is correct and everything they're saying in my eyes is correct too. Like we're on the same page, you know. I don't have any trash to talk besides fuck
Tuesday.
you for killing our supers.
Trash
like
Talk Tuesday. Come
woo.
on, man.
Hey,
I mean,
Vert, fuck
instead
you for
of-
having spies, you know.
Some people
I
just
don't
like
play that game.
LARPing. I was like, some people just kind of like the LARP that goes along with these big like null set conflicts. I don't
Some
want to
people
say
do,
what.
yeah, and that's fair.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to discredit them, but I personally think that it's all just bogus. I mean, I get you need to give some motivation behind people, but like most of the time, if you tell dudes, hey, there's shit to shoot, let's go shoot it, they're not going to care who it is, unless I guess you're right, unless those people go along with that narrative, you know.
Some people do, yeah.
People want to like be part of these like big like wars and stuff like that. These grand speed. It's
Yeah, but the
like,
big wars, like if you look at the average battle report from a big war to a low sec medium scale conflict, like it's very disproportionate where the most, I mean, obviously there's examples like M2 and like, I can't remember where Goons got all their super skilled. I think it was NPC Delve. So obviously those are like huge, but they take like 6 hours to finish. And like, it's very different to like a 20-minute 1 trillion-esque battle that just happens in relatively functional tie-dye.
I was like, didn't even make it a max tie-dye in this video.
No,
Yeah.
it was like 60-50%, and most of that was initially when like it died down to like midway to halfway through. The tie-dye even mostly jumped up because local spiked by like 500 tunes. So
I think that definitely, like, I'm not disagreeing with all you're saying. I think that a lot of people who leave the game because they don't like null sec would just be happy in low sec. I'm not disagreeing with you at all in there.
It's hard to get into low sec though.
all right, I gotta
Yeah.
bounce. I'll see you guys.
I think you'd find most people who've ever
Wait,
flown
it's
in null
hard
sec would
to
be
get
like
into nullsec?
No, to low sec.
Low,
like
yeah.
to get into
Oh,
like
okay.
anything
Yeah.
like substantial, I would say. Like,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? Like, if you like, if I was a null sec dude and it was like, right, I want to try low sec. I don't know where I'd go where I wouldn't be in like a shambles of an alliance or just in like some small gang faction warfare thing. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, how do you get into? It's not easy to get into some
I know, I would
places.
Low
try and
sec
get
used to be a lot different than it is today. Like low sec has changed dramatically since it first rolled out. Like,
That's partially Snuff's fault or success, I guess, whatever way you want to see it.
Not just that. The
Why
faction warfare is kind of dog shit gameplay, and then like the moon changes, 4 years ago, 4 years ago, severely crippled a lot of alliances in low
Yeah,
sec, which was why you guys kind of had to snuggle up the Goons a little bit and
passive,
consolidate with Project Mayhem and all that, right? But at the end of the day, like it is coming back because hey, CCP's decided to put a little bit of money back in the fucking place.
Dude, all they need to do now, and I say this every single day, is just give us the option to have passive moon mining module for the Athanor, that even if it's like 30% of the yield, like people would fight so much harder for that stuff.
You'd be able to
You can
just cover it
tank
if
it,
you can
right?
cover your SRP, right? Like that's at the end of the day, that's the big thing. And then you could have more solid PvP oriented alliances that don't need to be all super bulky
and
because they have like a million miners in them.
Yeah, but
I
like
don't
people
even-
don't realize that
Hold on, hold on.
90% of Snuff's SRP is funded through human organ trafficking. Like we don't really need the moon empire that we have, right?
Yeah,
We just,
there's not actually a single person in Snuff that has all the organs they were born with at this point. Tower is
guys-
very demanding.
You guys really have the entrepreneurial spirit, I guess. Eh?
well, it's low sec. You have to scrape by and make do, right? With all the changes. I mean, those moon
Yeah.
changes. I cannot overstate how badly those crippled people for a long time, right? People are still crippled from that. So it's just like, you've got to find a way to make a living. And sometimes it's putting people in a bathtub full of ice. I mean, you have to do what you have to do.
Sounds like a good idea.
They put you in the bathtub full of ice, you drink the roofie cola, and then you would listen to Hip to Be Square as you fade to black.
That's
you
right.
Wake up without the kidney.
You guys all like shit on Goons when they did the war bonds, but you haven't seen the war organs drive that Tao does every couple of months. That's savage.
We
You
call
just
them.
get a- you just get a DM on in. You just get a DM on fucking Discord. It's like, all right, it's your turn. It's like, shit.
I mean, between
Kiss my
Tao
butt, dude.
between
Kiss
Tao
my butt.
tokens and High's ASMR only fans, you've got to make do with what you've got.
I heard he's in the top 2% earners now.
He's actually it's pretty explicit stuff. So I would definitely, I'm
It's
not going to
bet-
recommend it to everybody, but
It's
I mean,
between him and Pink Sparkles for who's making the most money on
Not gonna
OnlyFans.
lie,
It's pretty
it was my
competitive.
proudest fap.
Are we allowed to talk about OnlyFans on Twitch?
I don't know if that's tossed. Dude.
Yeah, you should be.
I mean,
Or do
with
we have
what's
to
on like
call
the
it
front
only
page
friends?
of Twitch.
That is true, but I know we're not allowed to talk about that stuff because you'd never want to call
When's
attention to all that.
When's the
yeah,
when's the trash
onlyfriends.com.
when's the
Something a
trash
girl
talk
would do,
Tuesday? When's the trash talk Tuesday hot tub stream? That's what I'm waiting for.
Dude,
That's
Dang
what
it,
the real money is.
let's get to
Tuesday.
let's get to the webcam stream first, and then
guys, if you have points from chat, make sure to donate them to the webcam stream.
I think the webcam stream should only be for Trash Talk Tuesdays OnlyFans subscribers.
Speaking of hot tubs in Vegas, you should talk about that initiative you're doing for everyone, where we can win Plex.
Oh, the hot girl summer thing.
I don't
Girl
know if it's
Summer.
gonna call the Hot Girl Summer, like TTT Hot Girl Summer, or Flex on Your Foes. There were so many good names that were like they're like thrown out there, and I haven't planned it yet. I don't know what we're gonna do.
What's the thought
If we're
behind
done,
it?
if we're done talking shit, I'm gonna dip out. I just wanted to come on to run my
Yeah,
mouth.
Did we ever start?
Let's see on Friday.
Friday's going in, but I can't take him seriously after he made me fly all over HiSec for the election. Piece of shit.
Who are you talking shit about now?
He came on NC Mumble while we were watching the election fucking results, and he's like, "Oh, Blazing, you got to go to this place next because this is where the people are." And I get there and there's no people.
Wait,
Wait,
funny. Should I join
wait.
Original Sinners?
Wait.
You're
So
not-
you unironically like flew around space in game to talk to people?
Shitter systems too. They weren't even good systems. Fuck you, Rye.
Yeah, fuck me.
What is this? What did it accomplish? What were you trying to do?
It didn't accomplish anything. That's why I'm mad about it.
Yeah.
He's trying to be a
Good
CSM guy.
And that was the shit you wanted to
What
talk?
stupid ass reason did you have me flying around those systems for?
I don't know.
Why?
Sometimes
It
you
doesn't
get
matter.
get a little drunk and have a good time. Man, that election night Mumble was pretty good. Later on, dude. But yeah, like to bring it back to the snuff thing, this has been the best content we've had in a while. Normally, we have to feed to Ranger Regiment to get this level of content, but here we are.
Without this, you don't even have to feed.
I mean, sometimes you lose a levy, but
Well, he was quitting.
It was 1-7. I think that.
Well, he was quitting the game. If you watch the video, you can hear Hyde telling him if he's quitting, he has to warp to 0 on the dreads, and he did like a madman. So it was a interesting way of going out, I thought.
So at least someone won Eve from that fight.
That's right.
Yeah, I mean that's a pretty good way to go
a lot of
out.
people are gonna win Eve.
I doubt many people
That's the
quit.
spirit.
Honestly, like that's not that big of a deal.
From what we lost 7 Titans, everyone's quitting. Is that where we're at now?
That's the spin. That's the spin. That's a snuffed out spin.
true though.
So
I
if
mean,
that holds true, all of
hold
Test
on.
should be quitting like immediately, right? Like,
Hold on. Wait. I want to be very clear here. Like, this has been the best content we've had in a long time. We want to see more of these feeds, so please do not quit.
Wait,
Like,
so
I mean, Loki, serious question: Do you see RC being viable against Snuffed Out at this point?
Have they ever been?
Somebody who makes decisions. Like, I wouldn't ask you if Tess was doing a good job because you don't know anything.
Well, I mean, that's never stopped me before answering your question. So
We
I'm
know.
gonna
people
So
are
let me rephrase.
So
let me
Blazing.
rephrase Jeremy's question to like an actually reasonable one. The numbers last night when I looked at the battle reports showed 40 Dread Bomb and 40 Freight Train kind of carrying the load in U.S. time zone. That felt really light for me in U.S. time zone. Was there a reason for that, or?
Well, think of it this way: if you'd been like, if your fleet experiences for the last 2 weeks had been like, login max, we're gonna ram a Fortizar, login max, we're gonna ram a Fortizar. Okay, login max, but here, take this Vexor. Would you be that excited about logging in?
Yeah, but those are EU time zone ops, not US time zone.
By the way,
Billy, all the
did
ops
Blazing-
are
well,
the same, dude.
they also fed Max and Dreads the other night on their own Fortizar while they were doing so.
So Blazing, did you just basically tell me that I don't know anything? Is that essentially?
I wouldn't. If I was going to ask what the status of Rick and crew was, I wouldn't be like, "Damn, you know who I should ask is Loki Choco Chips." That wouldn't come to my mind.
So that's a lot of balls coming from a guy who had how many null seg blocks behind him and still couldn't make the CSM?
I had. If
Yeah,
you were
unrelated.
Jesus
Once
Christ.
again, if
Unrelated.
you knew anything about anything, you would know I had 0 null seg blocks behind me. Clearly, because I didn't fucking win.
Is that how it works?
that
I don't know. I never really
This is
paid
the guy that
attention
I
to the
sound like.
CSM.
Everyone, this is
That's spooky. I didn't realize until I was on the stream with you. Yeah, I don't really like
It's
that.
like it's fucking him. Yeah, I know. It's like, hey, it's Blazing Junior.
You guys don't sound similar at all.
Thanks.
Whatever.
I don't mean to insult or compliment either. I just objectively feel like you don't sound similar.
Back to the original question, though. Like,
Why
Loki,
were there
from
only 40 Dread Bomb in the fucking thing?
well, not even just that, but like, well, I guess first that, yeah.
We have like way too many fucking stations. I think is we need to cut down at our stations, baby.
Yeah, because I mean, you guys took like 80 people, I thought, to like go dunk Jeremy the other night. So like,
Well, dude, that's a Dread Bomb form. Dread Bomb and RC at this point, like our forms are relatively separate. With the amount of just bullshit fleets that have been going on, it's like, oh guys, don't go to this. It's literally just gonna be some dumbass like Athenor defense. Or something. We're already scared of Athenors, dude.
You're like
kind of like an Athenor.
It was pretty close. It was pretty close. Athenor had more supers.
Aren't we supposed to be like trash talking each other instead of our own alliances?
Hey, it's not an alliance; it's a coalition, actually.
Okay.
That's the other part that isn't really like crystal clear to me, because in theory this Keepstar timer is like a massive deal for the entire coalition and even like Dread Bomb morale.
Shield ref really isn't massive. It was hype pinged a little bit. I
Well,
don't
you think it'll be different now?
It was only director and command that knew anything about the Titans. We got in fleet. We were pinged to do stuff.
Dread Bomb only shows up when Sadat pings them on their services. If it's a RC ping, they probably won't ping.
That is true.
That seems like it's to a detriment to all success, though.
It is.
That's their thing. Who am I to fucking say?
RC is a detriment.
I mean, we're our own alliance, dude. We got to go do our own shit. We have our own SOV. We have to deal with our own structures. We can't be jump cloning every single time to go on a Macario bash up.
Yeah, definitely. But it does seem though like, and I'm not trying to make you guys better, I guess here. I'm confused because from like an alliance standpoint, I'm not even the CEO of an alliance, but like I would put in a lot of effort if I knew that my fucking like the largest assets my alliance mates own.
We did.
I would be like, yo, maybe we form more than 40 people in this fucking fleet that we have Titans in, maybe. Is that
It is a lot of morals. It is a lot of
the bigger yikes is the idea that like whoever was in charge, when they saw that there was only that many people, they thought, nah, we won't sacrifice our Titans.
The guy in charge was here, and he left already.
Oh, was it Seto? Okay.
Yeah.
I assumed it was.
I don't get how you only bring 40 guys to something where Titans are going to be dropped.
Because it's not their just said. They're a separate thing. They got other things to do, and they've been feeding relentlessly for the last 3 days.
Why did Titans get dropped?
Because they're retarded, Marius.
They wanted to They wanted a morale boost. That's what it was.
Hell of a morale
and
boost.
they did it terribly.
So if there's one thing that can be boiled down to, I think at the end of the day with that whole thing and why Titans were dropped and blah 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 blah, it was literally like intel. We were wrong about whatever intel we got, and Snuff had much better intel than we did, and that's why we fucking died. And,
Everyone thinks we have good intel. We don't have good intel. We're basically a bunch of retards, just like sorry, bunch of silly people.
Wasn't there like an E-Peen post about RC Intel earlier?
Dude, I love that post.
That
Did
was
you
a
see
really
did you see
good one.
Rocket in local during one of the Macarial bashes? Like, we can infinitely SRP this.
Good for I mean great for them, I guess.
Didn't it? That
It's
aged
gonna
really well.
I think we
tougher
got
now.
like 1.5 bill in SRP for the revs.
Well, that 1.5.
Oh,
yeah, kind of
That's
pissed about it.
That's pittance, dude.
That's really bad. We just get given like fully fit revs back to
You
use again.
get G trade Tau and get your rev. Holy
Get your-
crap!
get
Also,
your
there
free
was more than 40 boom and Dread Bomb alone in the fleets. We had 2 fleets. I think 3 actually. I don't really know why
We
the
had
third one
2
exists.
fleets. Oh yeah, it was like the.
I was just looking at the battle report, which
Oh, yeah.
showed 40.
I
and
assume
40,
that
I think.
the third fleet didn't even go on grid. Is what my assumption is.
The third fleet wasn't on grid, and like
None of the
fucking
supers either.
Yeah, none of the fucking supers were on grid either.
I doubt there were that many though.
I mean,
Which group was it that jumped out immediately? Was it
Dock workers jumped out immediately. We were all
Dude.
told to jump out immediately. It was just it's pretty fast, you know. Yeah, I mean Hick points, you know, you can't jump out then. I think Condor, he was streaming his Titan POV on Discord to us since we were just sitting in our carriers and caps just docked up. And at one point he hovers over the Hick point icon and it says like a full list of name and then +10.
But Snuff have never been good at spraying tackle. Okay, like that's what.
I mean, dude, I assure you that was like 10 on each at least because there were
the only
51 on that battle report.
only thing we're good at spreading our butt cheeks when we lose a Titan to you guys. So
I mean, honestly, that was a strategic loss, dude.
Yeah, strategic.
It got the USTZ morales up enough to trust Seto with Titans.
Killing a Snow Titan's pretty dope, honestly.
to be honest, Giannis had a new Titan literally like 3 minutes later.
Dude.
Yeah, he did.
Like the next battle, he came in, DD'd one of our dreads, like immediately replaced. It was amazing.
Oh yeah. I still chuckled, but it was nice to kill him.
Giannis is a good dude. He's fun to
I think there's a guy in Alliance with like from obviously it's a stockpile going way back. I think he's got like, I'm not exaggerating. I think it's like 20 plus of each super capital and Titan hull.
If he wants to sell Aeons, we do need to.
I don't think he's in the seller's market.
Like
sorry, Avatars, same thing.
Okay.
I'll sell you an Aeon.
They
for
both
50
look like
gold.
shit.
They do.
Well,
they
but
do
one
look
performs like shit.
No, they better as Rex.
So was the guy who lost the Wyvern and the Leviathan the same guy? The same
Yeah,
corp, right?
if you watch the video, there's one of the videos has a part where as the Titans and Supers are walking in, Hai says, Wrathraker, you're quitting, right? And he says yes, and he tells him to warp at 0, bitch, and not be a pussy or something. So he warped at 0 to to kick off the activities or festivities, whatever it is.
I haven't seen any of the other POVs. Do you have that video on hand?
It's one of the many Reddit threads about this.
Like its own post on Reddit. If you look, there's 2 videos up. Just click on both of them and watch through.
I haven't watched either videos yet, but I assume that's. Yeah.
I mean, like the guy, like he's like getting out and it's like, hey, go out with a blast, and you know, look if you look at the darn thing, it's a meme dual tanked levy. So you do the math. So same with the Wyvern.
It was good.
That doesn't strike me as something that would normally be well received and stuff. So
It's a flagship. It's the moral flagship.
We tend to be a little anal retentive, if you will, on fittings. So.
But I mean, this shouldn't be any news to anyone. As I mean, Wrecking Crew stole our fittings recently, so these should be public knowledge by now.
You know about that? He said that he was going to give us the fittings. We never saw the fittings. We didn't even see it. It wasn't on auth. It wasn't in a paste bin anywhere. Like
you guys also get some structures transferred out too, like in the last couple weeks. Yeah, I seem to recall some structures in Pravi that got sent on their merry way into an alt corp of ours.
Hey, but to be fair, at least they got to bash those successfully.
We got the cores back actually, right?
So what did you guys do with those structures?
Just transferred them and just left them there for them to shoot, so they had to blow up their own structures. What else is there to do?
You tried to ransom them first.
Yeah, that's true. We did. I think whatever it was, but like we gave gunning rights to Hard Knock, and people got dunked by Hard Knocks one night when they were going to reinforce it or kill it or whatever.
Dude, that reminds me of what was that one like Goons to Tio or something, and it got transferred by a spy, and then they just gave out the gunning to everyone.
They gave Squishy the gunning.
And Squishy just kept on fucking warping carriers over to it and gunning it down.
That was fucking classic.
If you guys could have pulled off shit like that in like YMP, I mean, there's so many people you probably could have fleet warped off.
I don't believe in fleet warping people.
Dude, you just gotta regroup them.
Not even in formations?
Oh, formations, I suppose, yeah.
On the topic of fading, Norris's content tightened a couple days back.
Yeah, that was.
I saw the pings about it. What happened?
Oh, he warped his Titan to 0 on the Goon Keep Star.
He got dragged into a Goon Keep Star.
Oof, dude.
Oh.
He
Oh
died?
yeah, one of our Titans warped to the Amamake Keep Star at 0.
Yeah,
during the bash.
that's also that wasn't because there was a bubble in the middle of the fucking thing.
No, he just clicked warp.
Wait, didn't he live or did he get out?
No, he died.
Oh, he's one of the ones that died. Yeah.
Oh, he died. Oh, okay. Well,
No, he warped off the Keep Star. He tethered up, warped back, and then started bashing, and then he died.
To be fair, Billy, Norris has always been a Chad with his Titan. Do you remember when he jumped in to, I think it was a disconnected one? To save it, to phenom it, to save it.
God.
Like, that was a pretty baller move, to be honest.
It was a spectacular couple of minutes on command channel, dude.
Yeah, I remember most people were not happy about that.
Yeah,
until the result turned out to be, oh, we just barely saved it.
I remember not keying up, but just cheering for him because it was such a glorious attempt.
Wow,
It'd been
Phenom
pretty-
and Lynx hitting a Titan can be it's
Yeah,
almost like
it-
5 to 10 million EHP in many
Well,
cases.
it was like 10% armor, wasn't it, when it got saved?
armor and then he
20%,
phenomed
it's a
35.
20% bonus, all said and done, to a disconnected Titan.
Well, it's 30% armor, plus if you then hit them with Lynx at the same time, it's also 20% more armor, plus 22% resist or 21% resist, whatever.
So, Villy, you fuck around
On
with a
all-
lot of tie-dye. When you're disconnected, do you still have your skill bonuses? Because I know when you eject, you don't.
It depends.
You have your skill bonuses, but your hardeners are not always running. Sometimes they are. Sometimes
There's multiple different states of being disconnected. I hate to put it like that, but like if you're aggressed after you've shot something and your hardeners are running and then you disconnect, depending on the sometimes your hardeners will stay on, sometimes they won't. Usually they cycle off.
It depends how long you're off for as well, doesn't it? Like
it's
if
like
you
CZP math, basically. If you're gonna get fucking hard,
just roll the dice, just roll the dice.
There's sort of this quantum physics realm of Eve that you get stuck in
there
between
he is.
disconnected or connected. Do your modules, are they there or are they not? I don't know. Simultaneously, maybe.
It's actually one of the big reasons passive modules became so popular originally.
I'd be curious about the skill, like the character skill thing, though.
Well, if you're not,
Well,
if you're
I'd
not
assume
online,
it'd have to.
No, if you're not online, your pilot skills don't apply to the ship.
But if that was true, then you would lose all of the like most of all of the resistance and tank from a lot of things.
What about your implants?
Good question.
Dude,
I feel like
a lot of the
this.
time,
I feel-
when you DC, you don't actually go offline. If you have someone watch listed, like I've had someone say that their client is X'd out, they can't do anything, but they don't actually go offline for like another 10 minutes. They just stay
Yeah,
on.
so my understanding is basically if you were aggressed, which basically means that your pilot doesn't leave the ship, your implants will continue to apply. However, if you were not aggressed and then tackled post that, maybe I'm trying to think now. I'm pretty sure your implants still should apply.
I would assume that if you're disconnected, your skills still.
We're talking about like quantum realm
Otherwise,
shit here
if they
right
stopped
now.
applying, wouldn't it offline your stuff?
This is
No, but
truly
you could- but you
You
Schrodinger's.
have those skills when
Is
you
this
come
not?
through A2 and it doesn't
Is this not one of those things where like none of us are ever going to know the answer because CCP probably don't even know the answer?
I mean, on paper you could go test it and stuff, but nobody's.
Oh,
got time for that
Loki,
shit.
we went on a Legion fleet to some random ass region. When we jumped through a gate every single time, I think everyone just lost like 20% armor or some bullshit like that. I wasn't in a Legion. I died in my saber. But Loki, do you remember that? Were you there?
I was not the fleet, dude. Unfortunately.
Ah, you weren't. Okay.
I've seen that bug before.
I've-
It was really weird.
He's been
like
really, really
You
fucking
used
glitchy
to.
the last couple
It's
weeks.
like
it's
it's the same bug that played in when Leviathans originally gave shield bonuses. It gave you 20% more shield, but it didn't give you repped up shield. So you had like a 20% red bar when the levy links were applied. It's that same bug, but they've kind of patched it, but they kind of haven't. It's weird.
Yeah, we weren't sure. Like, I think our comms were just relatively chill. We just fed Seto's Legion and some shit and got, we just had to get forced off a Rourke, and then we were going through a gate and everyone just fucking keyed up and like, oh shit, what just happened?
What were the comms like in Amamaki, out of curiosity?
They were actually pretty calm. I mean, we were down in our sub channel just like cheering on our Titan pilots as they rode out the long fight.
It was just mostly after we kind of got everything like in and said, it was just calling dread primaries.
Thomas, were you in FC comms there? There was like
I
20
was. I was
people out there.
calling.
That must have been AIDS.
It was it was a lot actually calmer than like when we were originally tackled. Obviously, there was a lot of chatter, trying to figure out what was going on, what we're going to bring in, how we're going to bring it in, et cetera, et cetera. But kind of once it got down to, okay, get the people out that we can get out, some people are dead, whatever, let's just take as much with us because we've got dreads here. So that's pretty much how it happened. It was just, okay, shoot this guy.
No offense, but like those need to be conversations that you guys have before you get your fucking shit tackled. Just saying. Just saying. I might not know much, but I do know that. Like, you guys really need to get your fucking shit together in regards to worst possible outcomes and then having actual responses. So that it's
are you going to fix that?
You're barking up the wrong tree with that. Again, as soon as Sadao died, he wasn't on grid anymore. He couldn't see what was going on. So I just took over because I had a dread on grid. That's literally what happened.
Yeah, fair enough.
So if you want to bring that up, you got to bring that up to Sadao, not me.
Yeah. Look, you're talking to Thomas fucking Lear, okay? So back off. No, he needs to back off, Tom.
Shut the hell up.
I think our faxes.
Comms, the fuck?
It's fucking Bill.
Oh, that's Bill?
I believe his name is Big Bill, not fucking Bill. But
hey, Bill. Welcome to the show.
Depends on who it is. Some people like that.
Results, dude.
Jesus Christ, dude.
What,
I didn't even realize Bill joined.
Like, oh god, what did you fucking do this time?
Yeah,
Bill?
sorry, I was. My stomach was messed up. I was busy taking a few blazing bunnies on the toilet, but
solid.
I think it's the opposite.
Playground insult stage here, folks.
So, Loki, are you going to improve communication when you start FCing and start dunking on us?
Was that aimed at me?
No, that was
Loki.
His name.
Am I going to improve communication? Let's put it this way. Every single one of my fleets have very clear lines of communication. Like, yes.
Great. That's great news.
Awesome, dude.
Do you have
So
the
proud
super
of you.
key?
I think Loki is number one FC here, obviously.
No, Loki, I never said I was number one FC. Just Ryan was talking shit like I was somehow involved in any of this. I was on field, sure. I was shooting you, but like I never actually had any actual like physical.
I'd swipe right on a Loki fleet.
But see, what you don't understand, Loki, is that because you were there and because you are in Dreadbomb, you are the representative. Like, this was all your fault. It doesn't matter who else comes on. It was all your fault.
Loki said very early, like, if I was your FC, like, that was the kind of line he took earlier on in the show, right? So my thing is, I'm saying, like, okay.
No, what I said was, I did not actually have an opportunity. I did not actually have an opportunity. I did not actually have an opportunity to fucking FC any of the fights against you. Is what I said, right? Now you can
why
speak.
Would you need
now
to?
you can
Why
now
would
you can
need
speak.
to?
Thank you.
Why would you need to FC when you've got the Titan of Lost Spartan ready to just win the objective? And
perhaps to get the
ram these
conversation on a more
materials?
constructive track, is the numerical disadvantage in European time zone that heavy against Rocket Crew? Like, I don't know exactly what the Snuff coalition really has. It's Snuff plus
you got
Voltrom's crew and like who else?
You got to like bat phone tank, whatever the fuck it is. Whoever randomly decides to respond to their bat phone plea that day, dude. Like,
I mean, one thing is,
I'm pretty sure if you look at the BRs.
Well, there was Laserhawks or Hard Knocks or somebody.
Yeah, it's Laserhawks, Hard Knocks, Volta.
In the Euro times of fights, like
NSH,
all these
FRT, CVA.
Oh, look, FLT. Wait.
Well, let's be
Stop
clear here. Nobody's
interrupting
allowed to.
Thomas.
Let's be clear. Nobody's allowed to complain about CVA bat phones. They hit it
F-
for a decade. So
FLT were like in the wrecking crew fleets in battleships.
They were. There was like 3 FRT dudes. I think at some point it was said not to shoot frat, and then some dude decided to keep on shooting frat retries, and then they started tackling our Macarials, and then we started.
So that's not really us bat phoning them. That's just
No,
your
not
guys.
us. I think we bat phoned them. I really don't know.
So.
It was
Sounds like an
terribly
RP.
communicated.
That
Terrible.
sounds like an RP problem, doesn't it?
To answer your question, Billy, in your time zone, especially going up on the Fortizars, we were up against, I believe the first time was 80 carriers, which then came up to about 110 carriers. And as any Kappa-C will tell you, dreads don't trade well against carriers because as long as they have an equal sized dread hammer, they'll kill your dreads before you kill all their dreads and carriers. So unless you have a carrier fleet to match that, or you're going to escalate further, the carrier numerical advantage always wins out.
I'm just curious. People keep saying bat phone, and I do definitely appreciate the idea that if you're fighting someone and anyone shows up to help them, you feel like they've been bat phoned. But really, it's a case of like someone said before, if you see people sat on a Fortizar with fighters out farming Macarials for 3 hours every couple of days, you don't bat phone people. People message you and say, "Can we come and do this as well?" Like. And what are you going to say? Oh, yeah, sure, come along. It's great. It's fun. Like, why would you say no?
Another thing is with the numbers thing is what is it? Snuffed, Handlebar, all of those groups. They're very good at actually having their members and doctrineships and actually, having a good amount of logi, having capitals, all that shit. You come to RC, it's what? Oh, everyone get in some Kikis to haze fighters. They're not getting in Macarials. They're not getting in Guardians. They're not getting in Carriers. They're getting in Kikis to kill fighters. You're not getting actual mainline Doctrine DPS ships and all that shit, which is what you need.
To be honest, Dread Bomb wasn't getting in any ships for the first.
Oh yeah, that's for sure.
So in European time zone, you guys are disadvantaged by what? 100 caps is kind of what you're telling me.
You're probably looking at 80 carriers is the multiplying factor there.
So you
Billy's trying to figure out which one of y'all to blue right now. That's
No, I don't think that's on the table. But I'm just trying to understand the tactical situation a little better. So, basically, what you're telling me is you guys could probably equal them in dreads, but you can't equal them in dreads plus carriers.
Probably.
Neither group can equal each other in their respective home time zone, right? But as we've seen, if one side decides to make an effort and be degenerates and stay up to the ungodly hour, then when they make an unexpected play, there's stuff to be done. But all we've seen so far in EUTZ is we're going to ram Macarials into your Fortizar.
RC has had some decent feeds, or not feeds, sorry, decent fleets. We form relatively hard every once in a while, and there is a lot of fun to be had in the fleets. But when it's just
somebody told me you guys had 1,000 people for one of your.
I don't think we've ever had that many numbers.
They had 1,200. They had 1,200 people for one time.
What timer was that?
The Keystar armor time. There was people.
I mean,
that's an insane form, dude.
To give you some context,
outside, it was 500 dudes with the faction battleships and the carriers, and we had 1,200 with 700 subcaps or something.
To put that into context, for that 1,200 people, if you were to look at the snuff form up on that side, it would be about 50 people on TeamSpeak. So,
So about 200.
Oh, what was the numbers on the Serb fleet? That was actually a relatively fun fleet, honestly.
The Serb fleet.
We just sat aligned out shooting a Fortizar.
Oh, dude, that was the one where it died in 5 seconds. I actually thought that was going to live that
Dude, that was insane. The drama at the end, where it's is it going to live? Is it going to die? It unpaused at 5 seconds left, I think, right as we all initiated warp and had to get our missiles back in flight. That was great.
So how hard was it for Snuffed Out to convince CVA to fight RC?
Well, it turns out
I don't think they have to convince them.
He hates RC.
CVA don't exist anymore. What do you mean?
Didn't they just
like, what,
come
20
in
jackals?
20? Yeah, they come in 20
sorry.
jackals and immediately got chemoed.
I feel like if we include people that bring 20 jackdaws to these fights, we're going to have to include like 60 different corps that are technically part of Wrecking Crew. So it's
No, but
probably easier.
I just
to
found it
not include
amusing.
them.
I just found it amusing that they showed up. That's all. Like it's funny.
I mean, CVA has right.
Well, I know goons
Of
were
course they're
there
gonna show
on
up.
like one of the form ups, and I was like, "What the hell are goons doing here?"
Goons were there. The weird thing is, goons were there on Wrecking Crew's side, and then Init was there on.
That was
ours.
so surprising to us.
Wait,
yeah.
what?
So there's a corp in games called Tundragon or a low-sec corp that actually hate us because of some past drama. So some of them will fly with Wrecking Crew.
Fun fact: the the drama between Tundragon and Snuff, while Tundragon were in it, was like the very first stepping stone of a chain of events that led to goons. I don't want to say humiliating themselves, but showing their weakness in their attempt to invade Blackrise, which led to a chain of events that brought us to. I mean, it's a very tangential stepping stone, but I think it's fair to say that that conflict showed goons to be weaker than people thought they were, which led to the war. And that was all started off by Tundragon's Athanos and Losec that we wanted to shoot for some content fights that they were really unhappy with.
You guys got some good fights out of that.
One
thing is, I thought
it's almost like half of GSF's FC core left as well around the same time.
Yeah.
I remember a lot of like Snuff versus Init fights. I might be misremembering, but when they showed up in Kiki's, we had no idea which side they were on, and then they just started warping around, killing our dudes. It was a surprise. I definitely thought they would be against Snuff there.
Thomas, do you or Kanan ever miss it? You ever thought it's like, damn, I'd like to go back?
Do we miss GSF? Yeah. Personally, there are a handful of people I miss. I do not miss the. I don't miss the whole coalition as a whole. No.
Am I one of those handful?
You are, Bill.
I just remember all the times in Ethereum Reach, and that time we got all of our rattlesnake carpet bombed to death.
Yeah. Ethereum Reach was a good time, or as Kanan would say, I mispronounced that region, and I'm not going to repeat it here.
I miss the Liberty Squad deployment to Blackrise as well.
Dude, I was so mad. That Liberty Squad deployment to Blackrise was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun there.
Every time Kanan was on grid, it was a case of tackle him down, wait for the fight to be over, and then bring in the smart bomb and battleship to get his pod. And then after the fourth slave pod, he just stopped using implants. It
would be like there was a couple fights where he'd be like, Thomas, jump break me in a new implant. I'm like, okay, coming right up. It was good times.
Yeah, that fight in Sujarento over that Wang's pen is out faction Fortizar is actually stands out as one of my favorite fights of the last couple years.
Honestly, the original plan for that deployment was to bring armor super carriers up there with us. Obviously that didn't happen because the rest of GSF didn't really want to do that, which is they're fine. That's their call. But had we had a bunch of armor super carriers there, it would have probably been an even more fun fight. So, because we were just gonna bring Liberty squads, but yeah, I miss Liberty. It's probably my happiest moments in GSF was Liberty.
Those weren't your members' assets to play with. Those were Alliance assets, so you're never going to get to have fun with them.
Yeah, that's kind of how it works in GSF.
Yeah.
The patterns were an amazing doctrine you guys used. I much respect for bringing Abaddons. That was great.
The Abaddons at the time weren't a bad meme, but
did they get a buff? Right?
Yeah, they did. Between the Liberty Squad deployments and Saarinen just throwing hurricanes at PL and NC, those are probably that's a real OG one, but those are my two probably favorite moments in E, just hurling hurricane fleet after hurricane fleet into fucking NC Macarials and just killing them. It's good times.
Fucking way back when.
Oh yeah, all the way back.
Even Max Tank slaves, low sec Macarials are, that's a pretty spooky concept. A full fleet of hurricanes. I mean,
yeah, I would literally just paying it to be a full fleet of 250 or it'd be about 200 hurricanes, 30 Logi, and boosters, and we just go and just keep reshipping constantly and just keep going and going and going until we ran out of hurricanes.
What do you think would win, dude? Hurricanes or Vexers?
Couldn't guess
Definitely the
that.
Vexers. The Vexers are just 10 out of 10.
Vexers are a top tier doctrine. I don't know if anyone noticed, but one of our members made a character called the Rakapass Red Cross, and he got an Impera and filled it up with Vexer BPCs and other ships, and went to the what's the other Keepstar, not the Secede one, and just sat there until someone killed him. But I don't know if anyone noticed.
For that. Let's get that.
That's fucking good, dude.
So interesting
I'll
question.
find-
Do you their Vexer strategy was to deploy drones and
then orbit out, like,
and then burn out to
500 or
300.
something.
What's
Yeah.
amazing is like in that process, obviously, you have these very fast ships that are moving out with like 0 transversal against anything that's sitting on the fort.
Against the Nagas.
So like fucking GG, right? Like that's
They just got stabbed.
yeah, like
Yeah.
it was a 3-minute fleet basically at the end of the day.
Oh yeah.
I think I looked at the BR afterwards, and like 90% of them just, or maybe like 50% of them just died to rogues instantly.
Is there not PDS in Losec?
I assume it's while the fort was anchoring.
It was the anchor, yeah.
Yeah. I remember Fraternity doing it when Boom was first up north. Low-Sec Fraternity was skirmishing over some moons, and we ended up killing their battleship fleet, and they just would come back in endless waves of Vexers to just keep the timer paused. And
I mean, it's good if you have pings when you all warp in at the same exact thing, and then just click orbit instead of moving at a little bit of an angle at least.
Those are some interesting bits as well. Like they were the easiest thing to track in the world. Like the sig radius of 500 MN Vexers was pretty nice.
I feel like ratting Vexers might have done better. The 100 MN ones.
Do you know what?
So I'm trying to think how
any-
that could have worked. You have to warp in at 50, and then what? Like, get your prop on, do an orbit up to 60, and then orbit to 70, and just like slowly extend it bit by bit.
It takes a while to get up to speed in those.
and then
Yeah, well, obviously.
It would have worked if like they'd reshipped, right? Like it just seemed like it was one wave, and it was like, okay, let's give up.
All we need to
I
do
mean,
is keep
they all
reshipping,
got-
dude.
they
We
all
all
got
would have done it.
insta-popped.
That's what we definitely needed was to reship after that.
I
I have a
think so.
question. I have a snuff related question. It doesn't pertain to this specifically, but what the fuck happened between you and Wangs? Because I missed that, and like I just caught the tail end of you guys like ousting them from the fucking game or something.
My understanding is
we didn't
Wang
oust
just
them.
like quit the game, didn't they?
Yeah.
So there's like Nate Atoll, who's a very great guy, right? Was kind of the leadership of Penance Out, right? And he had real life stuff come up, and there wasn't really anybody to step up and take over as his real life took over. And then they recruited this corp called Hullpen, who are now in dock workers, who are they're like I don't know, they're
They're
very
an alliance killer. They're an alliance killer.
Like Bovril?
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
I've kind of been
that
wondering.
culture started to take over. Why people like stopped showing up to Wang's fleets and stuff, and it was like the slow death. And finally, Nate, like we refed one of their things, like I think it was like an Athenor or something, to see if they would show. And like as we bridged in, Nate pinged out to his guys, "It's over. Go home. Like we're done. Like it's Wang's is over." So
I see.
Yeah, I've kind of been wondering how dock workers has survived so long with Hullpen in there.
What's wrong with Hullpen? I'm not tracking them traditionally as a corporation.
Well, that's good because they're not a corporation. They're just a bunch of morons that destroy anything they join from the inside with their own stupidity. Unless I don't even have a grudge against them. They're just that incompetent and stupid. That
they're incompetent, stupid, and they're also like they're very abrasive. So that combination,
This sounds like a lot of corps I've heard of. Like, can you give me some like actual like?
So, like for example, like they won't show up to fleets. So they'll like keep smart bombing on gates or just doing dumb shit. And then when they do show up, they like bring like tornadoes or something, right? Something not super helpful. And it's just they are an alliance killer. Like it kills people's morale to have to deal with them. There are several people in their leadership who are incredibly abrasive. So
Give me some examples of people.
Choppa Fusion, Mad Matt 420. Feel free to Z-kill those guys. And
you know, if they've got a 420 in their name, they're going to be a pain in the ass. Like,
I mean, yeah.
So
YOLO swag 420 XX69. You know.
After the death of Wang's, it was interesting to see where Hullpen would go next. And when we saw them migrate over to dock workers, with Predator Elite being gone, we knew that the writing. We at least know that the writing is on the wall for that group.
How did dock workers get Hulpen to leave Tama?
They've switched to Cormonen. Now they do the same crap in Cormonen.
Where is
It was
Cormonen?
funny. We were actually
That's
forming
the-
up.
Two jumps from Mamamake.
Yeah, it's between
also really close to
Llama
Amar.
and We actually we were going to form up to save a dock worker structure, and they were smart bombing our dudes as we fucking moved our staging system. It was great.
Kind of stuff I'm talking about, right? That's the kind of corp they are, and the kind of thing, and when you put that together, people are just like, you know what, fuck these guys. So yeah, I mean, it's just it sucks for dock workers. We know some of the guys who used to be in Snuff who are over there now, the USTZ guys, and
Dock workers are a cool bunch. I will say that. Props to them. They're a cool bunch of dudes.
As a group, dock workers are a good group. They just have the unfortunate privilege of carrying the burden of Holpen, which is, no one deserves that, really. Like, it's the kind of group you don't know how much you hate them until you experience it. And then I haven't even experienced it, but I've just witnessed what they do to people, and I hate them by proxy. Like, they're just... Like, imagine trying to get people into Fleet, and you've got people saying... Like, I had the same thing in Trigger Happy, right? We had a corp in Trigger Happy who's... there's a CEO of this corp, and there was a system they liked camping, but it was owned by... Who lives in Pureblind?
Vanderlogs?
Americans.
Rote?
Rote, it was Rote. Yeah, it was Rote. It was a Rote or the other one that's similar to Rote. So this system was owned by them, but these guys in Trigger... Yeah, so these guys liked camping this system, and they would be in there while we're on fleets. They'd be complaining that there's no fleets, but then they'd be sat camping during these fleets, right? And they were saying, why can't we take this system? And they'd spend all day ratting in there while it was owned by someone else, upping the ADMs for them at the same time as complaining why they couldn't take that system. Like, that's the kind of corp you're dealing with. The ones that are just so dumbfounded by their own stupidity that, like, you just can't reason with them, you can't help them. Like, they're just a burden, and you question why they exist and why they're allowed to exist and why you put up with them.
But props to dock workers for getting all their Titans out the other day. So, thumbs up.
Yeah.
You gotta be quick with that, dude.
If you can count on one thing, it's quick on the dock workers jump out button.
But let's reverse roles and see how fast you guys would jump out. Let's be honest.
I mean, they have the super cap and sub cap advantage. They wouldn't. They would just fucking DDS.
No. Right. I'm saying if the roles were.
Oh yeah. If it was just like the different players but same numbers, yeah. No,
yeah.
People panic a lot, right? Like, you have
the
to
levy
lose.
power will be there coming up.
Like, a lot of people panic. Like, literally, yesterday or the day before, I had 3 supers. I had decided to go Rorqual mining for the first time in probably 4 months, and within 10 minutes, an inhib went up 300 kilometers away. I was tackled by a Hecate, and 3 supers warp in to try and black. And I was like, okay, this is why I don't want to Rorqual mine. But, like, I don't know, I've lost enough ships that I was like, okay, go out of siege, mute the Hecate that's tackling me, and jump out in front of the supers. Like, but I've lost the Titan as well, so I think if I was in my Titan and I was getting dropped on, I'd probably just be a bit more calm this time around. But for a lot of people, it's pretty scary. Like, the chap that went on talking in the stations afterwards, he was clearly, like, quite emotional about it. So it's obviously quite an ordeal for him, right?
I said this before the stream, is that there's a lot of people in this game who own Supers and Titans who have worked many long hours to get them. So they're almost emotionally attached to them. And, like, anytime you're emotionally attached to something that can be lost, when it is lost, it is a big deal. So
I sold a Nyx to buy a Marshall, and then I decked it out with Abyssals, and I got shit on by a Revenant, and I cried after that, dude.
Oh, I saw that kill.
That was like 3 months of fucking ISK making right there.
I'm gonna be honest. If my Titan doesn't die in 1DQ, then I'm gonna reprocess it.
No, you're not.
I'm gonna.
Who's the Revenant pilot?
All right, we have your word on that.
Was it in Dronelands, the kill me you're talking about?
Yeah, 83 tech. Or no, it was right next to D something. I don't remember. I died to Rexana.
Yeah, Rexana. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I was chatting with him like right after it. I comboed him. I was like, "Yo, can I buy those Abyssals back?"
Am I too late? Are we?
Oh, hey,
are we
Tara.
still
What's up?
talking? Are we still
we're still
talking
talking,
about?
Tara.
Okay, hello.
Tara, why didn't you jump in your faction super to give us all some more tank last night? Come on, man.
Because it was out of position. I was hunting somebody. That's
oh my god!
Why'd you move your super to hunt? Okay.
It was a shotgun thing.
Okay. I thought you were talking about the other one.
No, it was different. I wasn't even close. So, and I wasn't gonna drop it either. So, I had a gut feeling. I was just like, something's not off. Something's not right today.
Oh, during the fleet, while we were bashing, I was like, what's stopping Snuff from just like logging in 40 hicks and pointing all of our titans and just letting the keep start? I said that in comments, and then it just fucking happened.
Tara, did you communicate your bad feeling to the leadership and FC team?
No.
Why? Why not?
It's just not my place.
Huh. Okay, so you had a bad feeling. You didn't drop your stuff, but you let others do that.
Well, his stuff wasn't in range.
It wasn't in range. It wasn't there. It wasn't there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that's not much of like being called to jump in.
I'm just saying, like, if it was like, somebody told me, like,
are you actually an FC wire? Like, just out of curiosity. Yeah, I'm not.
Am I an FC?
Yeah, are you an FC? I'm just out of
He's our mascot and sexual idol.
I'm well known for my abs.
Okay.
Well, ooh! Can I eat fruit off of them? Is that too?
No, it's snuffed as well. We are a well-known
nice
LGBT alliance, so bring it on,
dude. Awesome, I'm ready.
There are so many things wrong with what is happening right now. Stop it. Nobody is eating things off of your abs.
Why
dude.
is LGBT wrong?
Damn.
Red line.
Come on.
2021.
Watch me. Watch Bill. Watch it. Watch.
Oh, is that why you guys have that alliance ticker?
Well, I mean, if you think about it, it all makes sense.
I think it's the British Broadcasting Corporation. It's because we all pay our we pay our TV license on time. That's why it's BBC.
You guys have to mandatorily pay for TV, don't you?
Yeah.
Well, not really. Okay.
You
this is a dangerous topic. This is a dangerous topic to get onto at 3 a.m. This could get very heated.
Yeah, it's only for the state-funded TV provider. If you don't watch that, you don't have to pay for it.
Like they can say they'll come around to your house. I've had people come around to my apartment before, right, to do an inspection, and like it's the most scuffed thing ever. It's like they come in and they look around, and I had two TVs on a wall, one plugged into a PlayStation, one plugged into something else, and they're like, "Do you watch TV?" And I was like looking at the two TVs, like, "No, I don't watch TV." They're like, "Can you prove that?" I was like, "Well, I just don't watch TV," and they just leave.
Don't you just not have to let them in? Like they've got no power to actually get in.
Yeah, but I love because they're so used to people being hostile. I love to let them in and be really creepily friendly to them, and just offer them cups of tea and offer to make them food and just smile at them, and they just get creeped out and leave on their own accord. It's way more fun than trying to argue with them.
You want some ice cream?
I remember.
What you should be saying to them is, "Am I being detained?"
You guys want some pickles? I got your Smiths.
No, what you should do is ask if they want to eat some fruit off your abs.
Yeah, that's another option.
Stop. Nobody's eating anything off of Fry's abs.
Like
Why not?
a fruit on your abs? Would that be called an apple?
This is the Ab Protection Service. It is something offered exclusively by me. From now on, your abs will be protected. Okay, you don't have to worry about.
So Redline, I missed the first part of the show. Did we talk about the war itself this week?
What
We weren't supposed to talk about that today.
Oh no.
War talk.
We can talk about the war if you want to. Ain't shit happening in it.
Well, wait a minute. Before we do talk about the war, I just want to say good on Snuff for the fight they did yesterday and the planning. That people underestimate people, and that's what happens. And I've said it before to people. So
you mean literally just logging in? Like good job just logging in, Snuffed out.
Yeah,
we started planning at the same time as In It planned the raid action.
Many bottoms died too.
To Wheeler, who I know is gone, and to Snuff. Well played. So.
It's a very abstract thought of all that.
God damn it, Bill. Not everything's about Fry's abs, okay?
You wouldn't be saying that if you'd seen them. He's an Adonis. He's an absolute.
The word Adonis is thrown around. Let's just say that.
Give me a picture.
Okay. See you later. But hey, but it's a situation where that I don't know. The entire thing was actually kind of like it was really interesting to see, right? Because the response was pretty good. I mean, the number of faxes dropped. If you look at the some of the kill mails, some of those guys got repped pretty well. I mean, but obviously we had numbers and we had the NSH Wally power of feet, and we were able to pull it off.
I think Wally was.
The NSH dreads totally, I think, shocked and surprised. It was
so we had to actually undock, right, and then turn around and warp back to the blob, right, because you guys came in from.
Good.
So
the whole turnaround.
NSH had already killed Sedao by the time that we got our
dude,
Titans.
he died before our fax land.
Right.
He died before our Sino went up, dude.
Was he? Was he in slaves?
No, he was in amulets, all that shit. There was like an inhib that was going up as they Sinoed, and our Sino didn't go up until the inhib was dead. So
why did he have a restrained plate?
So
he didn't have a restrained plate. That was someone else.
We were basically just using inhibs to like keep us safe, right? And
how did that work?
It didn't. It didn't fucking work. And
It
so
did the exact opposite.
It
prevented our faxes.
And so
it didn't work.
Spartan dropped one, someone else dropped one, and then as that next one died, Sadao told me to drop the next one. So I dropped it out of my super. And as soon as I dropped it, I watched a pilgrim decloak like 20 kilometers away from my super, and I'm just like,
Thomas, you're why we died, dude.
Oh shit!
It's actually all your fault.
How many less Titans do you think would have died if Spartan hadn't have warped off his subs to avoid the DD bounce when there were Titans on grid and had stayed to clear hits?
A lot less, dude.
Yeah, I like that.
Wait, say what happened? I didn't hear this part.
The Max had Guardians. The Guardians were repping the fucking inhib that was being shot by the Keepstar.
Yep.
The Max warped off.
Why?
What?
DD.
You didn't want
something.
To not get doomsdayed. Okay.
I'm not
But it would only kill one Mac, right?
I'm not entirely sure why, but that's the assumption.
See,
I guess.
there's Titans on grid. There's Titans and Siege Dreads. Max aren't getting bounced to.
I assume it was only Titan shooting Keepstar at that point.
No, it was only Titans. There was the first DD volley went off, so it was everyone's shields and like a little bit of armor for everyone. So they were just on grid to rep and cap them up a little bit more.
So I've got to ask Snuff, guys. This maybe you can say it, maybe you can't. But were you guys hoping for this on the first timer, or were you just punting to the second to see? Because I mean,
this was the first timer.
No, there was two timers last night.
This was Shields, dude.
Yeah, this was a shield
no.
reinforced.
He's talking
for this time.
There were two timers that happened that evening.
Do you think we get told these things? We don't get told anything.
I mean, Tau communicates almost entirely in Russian, so you know.
Tau communicates in verbal rage.
Right.
My working hypothesis has been that Snuff have essentially wanted to bait out our supers in USTZ, which is why last Sunday they were super fucking baity as fuck, to try to get us to really go hard, because this entire thing has probably been set up for a while, right? And then NSH are talking about how they Sinoed across the fucking map to get here and all this shit. I'm like, okay, or somebody just has a cache of Titans in the station someplace, and you just have it.
Yeah,
I mean, it's only like 50.
It was because the Twitch stream numbers started rising that they moved across the map.
Well,
I'm sorry, you're right, dude.
Let me poke a hole real quick in that. Now, you've interacted with NSH before in various ways. Do you think they have the attention span for something like that?
Yes,
yes.
I think if somebody says, "Look at guys, we're gonna get you a bunch of fucking Titan kills. All you need to do is put some clones over there and get your fucking dread pilots ready to go at some point when we tell you." I'm pretty sure, it's gonna work out, and because it did work out.
I watched NSH hunt boom supers like 4 nights in a row with stuff. I watched you guys when we were moving down to
hunters are decent.
To Robbie.
I've got a story about Wally, by the way.
Wait, before we go on to that, there's a really big hole that there's a big hole that no one's pointed out yet, which I
thought we were going to talk about the war.
Okay, let me make one point.
No, that was a
one point. So, on one hand, people keep saying about Snuff batphoning lots of groups, right? And on the other hand, Rocket X likes to talk about his spy network, and I have to think that surely one of these many groups were batphoning Rocket X has a spy in them, so he must know about what's going to happen, right? Otherwise, he's a liar. Just a thought.
So it's all Rocket X's fault. Okay, perfect.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
to
we
be
have
fair,
X's
like
Go on the internet and lie. I don't think that's possible.
It's also possible people just miss the pings, right? I
come on.
regularly oh no, seriously,
Dude,
there's so many
yeah.
pings sometimes you just you
Dude, I
don't
read.
see Snuff's pings or you don't see
Yeah, but it's not us. I'm thinking he sees, but like,
Rocket's
think of all
pings or
these
Dreadbomb's pings. Like you just miss
these other groups.
the
There's
people
so
with the
many other
13
groups.
ping relays don't see it.
Billy, we have no spies. That's a lie, man. Come on.
Who has no spies?
Dreadbomb has no spies at all.
No, you guys definitely got some spies.
No,
I don't
for
think there's
some
a
reason we
alliance
have
in
some
the
people that think
game.
we don't. I don't understand why.
I don't think there's an alliance in the game that doesn't have a spy or two in it.
Yeah.
Especially
Or
right-
at least someone that's willing to be paid like a fucking bill a month and then relay the pings, you know?
With the purchasable and basically integratable SP that now exists, like it's pretty ridiculous to think that that your group is special somehow. Your recruitment standards are somehow
The spy doesn't even have
everyone
to be
else's.
active. The spy doesn't have to be active. You
To be
literally
fair,
just boost in
the
Discord.
smaller your group is, the more easy it is to be spy free.
Yeah, like you
True,
say,
and like
you
and
say
Snuff are
recruitment,
paranoid
but-
as fuck. By the way, like if there is a group in the game that is
Dreadall
spy
only.
free, it's probably Snuff. Like I'm just gonna say.
I'll be honest. I'll put this out right now. If anybody in Snuff wants to sell a relay, I'll put up $5 bill a month for it.
How much for Dreadbomb relay?
Nothing.
Okay, yeah, I'll give it to you. I'll lend you one, dude.
Snuff, hello?
$5 bill a month.
Do you
seems
really
very
think Dreadbomb is spy free enough to
No,
sell a relay?
I only asked for a relay, not like a actual spy work or anything.
Say it feels very low.
Nobody will ever know.
$5 bill a month for Snuff. I mean, that pays for what? Your main account, your 2 Dreadalps, whatever it is.
60 bill a year.
The problem
Yeah,
is,
that's
think
pretty good.
of it this way: when you think of paying spies, right, and this varies from group to group, you have to think, because the player cares about fun, right? Like at the end of the day. So like I've always thought that if Snuff is obviously my main experience, but if it's a group someone joins and they're having like someone couldn't offer me $100 bill a month and I wouldn't want to like risk not being in Snuff, right? Like it just seems I just really enjoy it. And I think like to most people it would be a lot more enjoyable than what they're used to. So even someone trying to join with the intent, I wouldn't be surprised if there are people who have joined Snuff with the intent of spying that have decided, why would I not just have fun here? Because this is quite a lot of fun.
That's
I definitely cannot disagree with that.
spy. An active spy is better than an active member, and that's just that.
Well,
I
I do
don't know
have
about that.
So I do have one thing to say, because I know I gave Snuff a compliment, but I have to give RC credit too, just because, I'm part of Hostile. And, what happened yesterday, yeah, that sucks. Whatever, just kind of a bop on the nose, or Meeker put it as a boop on the snoot. But to be honest with you guys, I have never been more proud to fly with people. I'm serious. I'm dead serious. Like, I call these guys friends. We've known each other for a very long time. And it's, you take the good with the bad, right?
If you can't call your best friend stupid, then who can you call stupid, right?
Mm-hmm. It's true.
Literally anybody else.
I'm being
True.
serious. 100%. 100%. So, anyways, you guys can carry on.
Thank you for your permission.
In other news, guys, Boom no longer has any supers anymore, guys. Great news.
Like,
The
didn't you
meme
guys
can ride again.
Winston made out pretty quick. He signed it out pretty quick, didn't he?
What's
Fuck
the
you, that's me.
Wally story? Tell us the Wally story. I want to know the Wally story.
Yeah, can I just say the real tragedy of this entire fucking thing is that somehow Wally Mart's got like 20 minutes on fucking TSI or talking in stations.
What do you mean? Wally's a gentleman. Have you seen his feet? They're
Yes,
splendid.
Wally is hilarious.
I really liked how he
Plugged
plugged
the
his.
Exodia card meme for Wally. It's fantastic. Something
Did
like
I
I
Sorry, go
was
ahead, Ray.
very confused because I was not expecting Wally to show up on TIS.
I'd assumed he'd been banned from that Discord.
Wally shows up wherever he is accepted.
I
To be
thought
honest-
only Snuffed Out was banned from TIS Discord.
That was a misunderstanding.
We had that was a rough day for us.
Jay.
What did you
Sometimes
guys get banned for?
Okay, so
Just being
is nobody
being
going to
gay.
tell us the Wally story? Like, someone said that they had a funny story about Wally,
Yeah,
and
I
now
was
they're
trying to
not
say.
telling the story.
Yeah, no, I got it.
Tell us
So-
the story.
Story about Wally is we were doing the deployment down to Delve, PL was, and some geniuses left their fleet hangars open and their SMAs, and Wally took everything.
and Headliner like flipped and like almost had an aneurysm, and then Wally put it all back.
Wally told that story to us already.
Yeah, he told him.
Didn't
Dude,
portal.
fleet hangers are the epitome of low effort, high income. It's amazing.
It's
I had
so beautiful, dude.
In 20 minutes with an Iteron in 1DQ, I made 85 billion-esque because someone decided to like get all the Titans to do a conga line around the Keepstar, and I just went alongside them, emptying them and just depositing straight into the Keepstar, and just kept going from Titan to Titan to Titan. It was amazing. So many A types, so many. Oh, that was good. That was some good money.
Fucking brilliant.
Didn't he do the?
I love the
opposite too?
Darwinism of this
Yeah.
game.
With the
It's amazing.
hanger, and they just fill somebody's fleet hanger full of trash.
You know, X47, I was going along Titans because I remember a lot of NC and Horde switched to emergency hull energizers, so there was a lot of faction damage controls in fleet hangers. That was a good haul as well. A lot of faction damage controls.
Dude, I've never been successful stealing out a fleet hanger, but I got about 5 bill on an Iteron during one of the
well, that's because
the Keepstar timers, and I just got fucking blapped.
That's because Dread Bomb's super fleet never lasts that long, so you've not gotten the chance to do it.
Fair enough. This has nothing to do with Dread Bomb. People would overload their allies' fleet hanger, like they do the opposite of stealing and just put a ton of shit in it, and then it got so full they couldn't jump. So like the fleet would jump and they just couldn't jump. Wasn't that a thing?
Just filled with like those male exotic dancers or
Dumb
something.
shit like bookmarks or something where like they open it and lag out and crash, and then they can't. Maybe bookmarks won't prevent them from jumping, but other things will.
Do you think in 2021 we're going to get to see the alliance called Dread Bomb something?
Or not get Dread Bombed?
Maybe.
Dude, dreads are so expensive right now. It's kind of stupid.
I think they got their name because they get dread bombed. Actually.
Ah, okay.
It's just
They should rename that Dread Splash or just something more mild than Dread Bomb. Dread Bomb seems Dread.
I mean, we can petition CCP, ask if we can rename it.
Dread Ripple.
I was just excited that we could finally say Boom Supers Go Boom.
That's pretty good.
Red Ripple, I think you're.
Wasn't that an Aaron Carter rap song back in the day?
Boom, what?
No.
Bang.
That was just a part of the lyrics.
Boom.
I put in the hoop like slam.
I got you to fucking sing it. I can't believe.
Why wouldn't I sing it? It's a bop, dude. What do you mean?
Fuck is a bop?
Like a banger. It
You
slaps.
see that moment, Bill, when you realize that you're a boomer is when you don't know the hip lingo all the TikTok kids are using.
Bop isn't even a fucking like new phrase.
What?
You just ruined the entire show. Like you just said
I had to.
TikTok, boomer, and hip in the same sentence.
You gotta hit all the marks.
Yeah, you do have to hit all the marks. Like that's how you make an award-winning Twitch talk show. Did you guys hear?
What
by the way,
awards
that
has this won?
I was just going to tell you. Did you hear that last week we were awarded the most sacred Twitch TV show in history?
By yourselves?
What?
The show most people wish would just stop.
No, that's
true.
gotta be one of the INN shows.
No, that's this show. Definitely this show.
All right.
I have no idea why people go on talk shows.
Yet you're here.
I mean, shit talking each other is way more fun than like jerking each other off on Twitch about like the state of the game.
I don't know about
amazing.
the first part,
But the first
you know.
30 minutes of this show were like, oh, you guys brought a great, it was very.
Yeah, dude, it's true though.
Very courageous of all
Also,
you guys.
Stadal wasn't really shit talking. He was just kind of like.
Sade's a wholesome person. You need less wholesome people. You need more
Wholesome
toxic
out of the game,
people.
absolutely.
More fucking shattered armors.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, like Snuffed, we're known for backstabbing and trying to have a good time and stuff like that. You need, I'm not saying to adopt that lifestyle. I'm just saying that provides content sometimes. Like, you don't need to hoover up everything in a region. You don't need to blue everybody. Like, sometimes it's fun to, cause a little chaos.
Did you say, did you say blue everybody? What? God,
I mean,
could there have been a better segue?
There's so few people that live in low-sec that if you start trying to boot people, you've got nothing to do.
Is that what happened to RC?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, didn't RC participate in the Pappy War a little bit? Dreadbomb did too. We got all our fucking dreads DD'd by Tesla. But then it was like they can't do anything. They can't hunt anything because they're blue to all of Pappy. I know that a lot of RC hunters and Titan pilots and Dread pilots went AFK during that. Just because, like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna shoot? If their content was, oh look, some dumbass frat dude in a whatever moving something. I think like there was some dude that like jumped to a low sec system, didn't cloak up in a like 120 bill avatar. He dropped like 20 bill out of that.
Yeah, but
that's
like
the content that they're expecting.
Like, well, what's interesting too. Last night, looking to see, you saw Dread Bomb and Freight Train, right? Fielding the most supers. You didn't see Core RC. Your Purple Helmeted Warriors. I mean, they lost one, I think. You didn't see, the other Core RC groups at all field anything significant. So, I mean, that's super interesting to me to see that, like, these super heavy groups that have traditionally had supers in RC and they just didn't show.
And the
they
funny
use
thing
their
is,
supers to DD stuff at downtime. That's what they've been used for years.
I mean, if there had been, say, 10 actual proper Wrecking Crew Titans there, I don't think any other ones would have done. I mean, if they'd been left alive and they were tackled, sure, but like they would have been the priority. Like that's who we're there for, right? Wrecking Crew.
Yeah, like old school few, like me, like a hostile guy.
Right.
Dude, Tara, if you were on that grid, I was in the voter, I'd tackle the shit out of you.
Tara, I'm not going to lie. At the start of this deployment, if I saw you in a subcap and I was in the Nesta, I knew that your ship was going to be the juiciest, so I just had to sit on you. I'm sorry. You fit your ships like a man.
No, I know.
That fucking Macarial, dude.
Yeah, I got fucking Von. Oh, sorry, I got effing Von Hold, and Pack was there. And yeah, dude, it was hilarious.
Feel free to use bad language, dude. It's fine.
But yeah, I just fitted it for fun to have purple on kill mails, and I knew it was gonna die. So
oh, yeah, dude. Purple on the mail, it's always great. I think I shoved a whatever the fucking max meta ECM is on some Griffin, and I just went around jamming stuff during one of the fights.
There's too many shit officer mods though for it.
That's so true. The officer reps are so dog shit, dude. It'd be nice.
Here's
if they
something
were
that
better
really
than
annoys me.
Dead Space.
Why the hell are the Triglavian faction reps worse than the fucking T2 and T1 reps?
They are.
Do they have any advantage?
Aren't the faction guns kind of in the same boat too?
No,
the faction guns do slightly less, but they have much better fitting. They have a little bit better range.
They have better rate of fire as well, right?
Yeah,
I don't know about that. They have less DPS. I know that.
Look up the whatever they Muta whatever reps.
Muta Plasmid.
No, it's like Muta Adaptive or some bullshit.
Muta Adaptive.
They're literally worse than their like T1 and T2 counterparts.
I mean, I remember faction cruise missiles were better than T2 missiles. I can't remember
Maybe
why.
they ramp up faster.
No, they don't.
Oh, goddamn.
I mean, we're looking for logic in the
It's mostly
game,
probably
so.
just fitting space. Like I don't know. I'll bet 100 mils just fitting space. I'm not that rich, dude.
Fitting space is a thing. That fitting space was also a thing. That's the only thing I've ever put faction guns on was my Marshall, and Penif just told me how he would fit it. So I'm just trying to remember why, but it was a long time ago.
Yeah, Marshall, you use the faction torps. You get an extra like 200 GPS or some bullshit out of it. It's great.
So, do Marshall pilots have to get the lobotomy before they buy the ship or after they buy it?
Hey man, it is one of the strongest buffer blops in the game.
No, you don't buffer. Okay. That's heresy.
Or active.
Yeah,
if you're in low sec, you better buffer it, dude. No versus the active tank in the
my Marshall has almost 500,000 EHP. It's quad plated.
Your Marshall almost died to a fucking Hyperion.
No, it lived. It was fine.
It lived because we dropped the carrier.
It lived. It was
Wasn't
fine.
that the guy who made the YouTube video complaining about it?
And he was so mad about it too because I lived.
Tiso, didn't you lose a
Hey, try
Marshall?
three. Try three. I lost one. Okay, so the first one I lost in a 10 out of 10. I killed a rattlesnake, and I died to one shot that was less damage than my EHP, and I petitioned it, and CCP says we can't see anything in the logs, and I was like, that's my point. The next one I got baited by I want to say Macaro. No, it was a nightmare, and that was like a fucking 15-20 bill fucking Marshall. I was pretty upset about that. And then the third one I lost while I was logged off and in a station, and it got replaced by CCP. So I don't know what.
Fuck?
I don't
Wait,
know.
what?
So, someone PM'd me on Discord, right? And he was like, "I'm sorry," and I was like, "Thank you, but I don't know what you're talking about." And he was like, linked me the Zika, and I like rushed to my computer, logged in, and the mods were in a can outside an NPC station. And my friend had looted the mods and like contracted them back to me, and the CCP replaced the ship and everything. And I don't know what
That's
that was
insane,
about.
dude.
Yeah.
I mean, I got baited by a rattlesnake. I ship scanned him and stuff. He was acting sus, and there was one other dude in local, and they were both like perfectly fine kill boards. They were transferred like 6 months ago. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go on this. Me and Aquila signed in. And Rapier decloaks, bumps me, scrims, and lights and Sino, and then bam, Revenant with a officer heavy scrim hits me.
I got Von Hole tried to kill me once, and it was the first time I'd gone with someone else, and he was my friend who's now in Snuff. He was in a sin, and we thought it was suspicious because it was a goon renter in T5Z, and there was no one else in local. And as soon as I took the acceleration gate, like all of Von Hole's characters logged in, and there was like 4 Stratuses on close to scan, a sin, and all sorts of shit. And I was like, okay, I'll just warp off. And then a Praxis decloaks, and obviously I had the neuting sin with me, so we just like heated newts on it, lined out, and just managed to get away as he was landing with like a bunch of Stratuses and all sorts of other shit. But yeah, fuck, Von Hole's a legend, but I am truly terrified of that man.
The shit he does is terrifying. But one thing is, he always gets his man on the kill now. Yeah. So as long as you're not within range of that.
Dude, I got to the point. It got to the point I was running locates on him every time I logged in, and if he was showing up in NPC Delve, I just parked a dictator on the station that it was in because I didn't want to take any chances. I was so scared of him, man. He's just because you know that like.
Yeah, he's pretty. Who was the guy that that did super hunting or whatever?
That hunts with him.
Oh, there's plenty of people that do super hunting.
There's I can't remember what I'm trying to say, so never mind.
Are you trying to talk of the guy that works with him? I don't think Big Bill the Boss is trying to bring up Omega Gold in any context, to be honest. I can't see that.
I thought he was going to say Peanut for a second.
You're talking about Giannis, the one that flies with...
I can't.
He flies
I'll
with a
remember.
great amount of people.
Anyway, I'm going to pass the fuck out here. Thanks for having me on. I'll see you guys.
See you, Thomas.
See you, Terry.
Bye.
Who was it that lost the marshal to the fucking Blood Gang?
NPCs?
The Blood Gang?
Yeah, the B-Boys. Let's see if I can find it.
Blood Raider NPCs, Bill? Is that who you're talking about?
Yeah.
Diamond Rats.
Well, yeah, I lost one in a 10 out of 10, if that's what you're thinking of.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't you.
All right.
A
so
lot of people have lost marshals.
Can I have can we have like 10 minutes of talk about what's happening in the war?
No.
Just 10?
Yeah.
Why not?
Keep stars are dying, that's all.
Because the show's dying slowly.
True.
What are you talking about?
Has anything changed from last week related to the war?
Sickless Keepsters.
Marius, you're in Brave, right?
Yes, I'm in Brave.
How many? Okay.
Dude, I had an
many-
amazing fight with Brave earlier. It was the Spoopy Newbies dudes. They came with like 10 or so confessors, a bunch of deacons, and they started to brawl us. It was great.
Oh, that's awesome, dude. I don't know any spoopy newbies guys.
Dude, I
'cause they're
was
all wormholers.
Yeah, I was gonna join them when I was like really new to the game. They sound like really good dudes. They were chilling local, all that shit. None of the stupid ass stuff in T5Z or 1DQ local, dude. It's amazing.
Yeah, I almost joined Spoopy when I was still a wormholer.
Dude, they're good groups.
What
How
about
many
Whole
keeps
Squad?
does-
Vert, I think it was
Oh.
Trini Newbie.
Oh, he's lost so many.
He's lost.
Yeah.
It's not
He's-
the most
I found
expensive
it.
thing that he's lost.
He's lost more ISK than us collectively as a group will probably ever have.
I remember he signed out in a marshal into NPC Delve, like I think it was about a year ago. I combat probed them down. There was a couple other blops. They were just AFK there, waiting for bridge. Everything decloaked. Like I think it was like 3 marshals, bunch of sins, bunch of demers. They're just chilling NPC delve with combat probes on them. Not even like sitting on the station. They're just sitting in dead space. It was insane.
He's lost multiple vanquishers.
I think I saw a screenshot a while ago of him in a Revenant, or maybe it was a Hell, but I think it was a Revenant in Delve with a goon hick like 4 kilometers away from him while he was cloaked, and they was trying to decloak him.
Probably a Revenant. He also did a polarized like Marshal, I think.
Yeah, he lost 2 of those, I think.
It's honestly not the worst thing, you know. It's pretty fun.
It's a cool concept, but it's just like the damage you're getting does not justify having no resist.
Yeah, the faction torp launchers just do enough damage already, you know. I think my my Marshal's like what 4k EHP a second with armor rep, and then it did like 1.6k with torps, I think. Like that's more than enough to kill whatever bullshit you're killing.
I used to run cruises because hunting DD runners was you needed to have the range. I don't know if
What's
you want to
your
finish
Marshal
this. Like,
I think I remember seeing some of those combos.
oh god, it was want to buy kill marks.
Yeah, oh hell yeah, dude.
I haven't played that character in a long time, but hunting DD runners is so much fun. That you get like I used to have so many epic brawls. Like where do you get to have a 1-on-1 brawl in a Black Ops battleship against a Marauder that like no one can like sign in to help? Like
it's amazing.
It was so much fun, and then occasionally.
I'm pretty sure I almost killed one of your marshals one time.
Probably. I mean, if it was in Delve, it was only ever in Delve. Or maybe it was in Gemini for a bit.
No, it was in Delve. I
Well,
forget. I forget what it was, but there was like you were dropping with like a sin or something, and your marshal got away, but we killed the sin, something like that.
There was a lot of marshal. I never lost a sin, so it might have been another marshal. There's a lot of people doing the marshal meme in Delve. It was very.
No, it was definitely you, dude. It was definitely you.
But who was the sin? Because
I don't remember. It's been a long time. Been a long time.
It was so much. Actually, interesting. I was talking about this the other day. I've got because obviously when we killed the person in the DED, you just finished the 10 out of 10 because the martial fit can finish a 10 out of 10 and kill the thing doing the 10 out of 10. So I have like a can in NPC Delve with probably 4 months of 10 at Blood Raider DED loot that I haven't gone to look at, and my understanding is in the current situation that's worth quite a bit. So I probably need to go down there and have a look at it.
The armor reps that dropped from at least the secret ones went up from like 300 to 700. So it's at least double the price, dude.
I had dozens of the newts, dozens of the hardeners, like just all the mods. Like you can imagine how many 10 out of 10s got finished.
For some reason, I thought you were Atrix, the Want to Buy Kelmark's character.
Atrix. Atrix.
I'm sorry, I'm terrible. Man.
Yeah, that's fine. Atrix is definitely not me.
Yeah, I think my like second month in Eve, I was in some shitter low sec corp, and he would just kill our jump raiders every once in a while.
He killed everyone's jump raiders. He has killed more jump raiders, I think, than probably anyone. I think. Did you ever see the kill he got? It was like hundreds of billionaire Visks worth of T2 capital-sized cargo expander rigs, and it was more of those rigs in this jump freighter than had been sold in the last 2 years. It was the weirdest kill mail I ever saw. Like I just can't imagine who built those and why they would build them.
I remember back when you discovered the Sino beacon for the first time that Horde had.
Oh, dude, in the GME? No, 7RM. 7RM. Oh, wait, no, the first.
Well, was it in? Okay, maybe it was like right there. They're like right next to each other.
It was because Nydia Masters kept jumping. Yeah, he was. He had a go at someone in their Discord for jumping to a beacon and dying, and then did the same thing and died too. I think it was Alpheus, maybe.
Nydia might be famous for raging at stupid people, but is one of the more reasonable people in Horde's leadership.
7RM, and he got killed by a nag called OOIELL. I don't know what
Oh, it was me. Yeah, it was me. Because I remember he jumped. There was a sign. I remember because I was watching the beacon at the same time, and there was a beacon up on a sign up on the keep star, and he decided to jump to the beacon, and then he died on.
I mean, with being in Horde standing fleet, I don't know. Maybe a Sino beacon might be more trustworthy than another Sino could have.
True. The amount of times you just light a sign in the standing fleet and say help, and just see what jumps.
I did a mini little deployment with a couple of friends to drone lands, and the amount of shit I saw jumping to beacons, it was. I mean, I was only in like a nemesis, so I could only really catch like capitals. I couldn't catch supers, but I would always decloak and ship scan them. And some full officer fit like ratting hell just jumped to the beacon one time with 10 people in local. Driving me crazy. I didn't have addicted, dude. It was like unit W, SIBOs, unit W, omnidirectionals, and then I think the third highest meta DDAs.
Drone lands is such a cancer to get to, though. But once you're in there, you can hit everything.
Oh, it's so easy with wormholes. Like we sat a fucking Rataru in there, and we just staged our blops out of it and all that shit.
The most enjoyable time I've had in the game was in drone lands with Tissue and just fighting VVV at like 4 a.m. with like unironically 10 people on TeamSpeak, and there'd be 10 supers, 10 Lokis, 4 Dictors, 6 Rico, like just everyone doing at least like 4 or 5 accounts, and somehow managing to beat them.
And then Hyper Aeon coming in and nuking one.
Yes, dude, blood of gods. That guy. The guy in that flies the Aeon, he calls it the battle salmon. He's a true warrior, I don't know how that's not dead.
Almost got him in fucking J5 when he gated it in. Someone goes, "There's a super on the gate."
He just gates it around drone lands, like no one seems to care. I think for a while he had it in R10, and he was just like in a safe spot, warping down to gates, blapping stuff, and going back to a safe spot for like an afternoon or an evening. And
that is some of the most Chad shit I've ever heard in my entire life.
Is it just me, or does Marius sound like a younger version of Blazing Bunny?
That was what the entire fucking topic of last week's show was about.
Yeah, I said this last week. I'm fairly certain it's just Blazing trolling us still. Like,
so Marius is the Shattered Amar from
you all have been
What's
talking.
That?
Me and Marius have just DM'd each other. I'm like, He's like, I don't hear it. I'm like, trust me, dude. I've heard my own voice and I've heard your voice, and I can assure you they sound the same.
What's this about? Shattered?
Shattered in PGL.
Shattered.
Oh, that's true.
Holy shit.
Yeah, but I think like Shattered is just like trying to adopt his mannerisms, you know.
So you think that Shattered and PGL sound alike?
No, I think Shattered is trying to sound like PGL. I think that's
okay.
different.
That might be the case, but there is a guy also in Brave Leadership. His name's Ernir. Spitting image across comms of like Shattered's younger brother, or maybe even twins, but no one else but me hears it. At least when they're both on comms. But I've gotten, some kind of agreement.
There's a good number of people here that might know the answer to this question. I've been trying to get a good answer, so help me out if you can. How much is a Nyx worth at the moment?
Like way more, like 40 bill or some stupid
40
shit.
bill.
Nyxes are wanted a little bit less than Aeons, at least in the low sec. I have no idea what the null sec market is, but like Aeon right now will get you fucking 48 bill fitted, 50 bill fitted.
I'm so
there are hyperneted wyverns and Nyxes hibernating and selling for 63 billion. There was an Erebus. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I hadn't been on the game for a while, but yesterday I bought one ticket for a Nyx and I won it, and I'm trying to work out how much to sell it for.
40 bill.
I mean,
wait a few weeks, dude. Wait a few weeks and see.
Well, you get speculation prices now. You get the actual prices later. You know.
There was a guy yesterday who told me he sold. I'm not kidding you. He sold his Erebus yesterday for 300. I think it was 320 large skill injectors, 200 billion for the hull.
Like 3 weeks ago, I bought an Aeon for like 14 bill. Best decision.
You want to sell it?
No, are you fucking
Go
kidding
right
me?
now, full fit. Come
I
on.
need my FCA on. What do you mean?
Imagine spending 200 bill on a fucking Erebus though. Holy shit, dude.
It's not even like if
And
it's
they're selling for
great,
150. Like it's happening.
Imagine flying
But
a
they're
Titan.
not selling for 150 is the
Buses
thing.
aren't
Like
the worst
nobody sell like these are people trying to sell this shit at that price. I have yet to see anyone buy a Titan at anything over 120. And I don't even know if I've actually seen anybody buy one at 120.
Right. But the sheer panic and speculation and fucking mania that's going on right now is
It's all it's all like what FOMO, fear of missing out? Is that what it is? Or like
pretty
but-
much like Gita Market's fucking bare as fuck, dude. Everyone's speculating that like
yes, but that's right. It's all speculation. It's
yeah,
not
absolutely, yeah. But it's like it's so funny because it's like, well, everything's gonna go up. So like literally everyone just bought everything. Like I'm just like, okay.
They go up, yeah.
Like at some point, like
Loki, about the Titan, was it like a trade contract or how did he do that? Because did he have to move the 200 injectors to that system or whatever it was?
Do what he did. But he did it.
yeah, it's crazy though because eventually there's gonna be a redistribution phase, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Oh.
Well, there's like
if
so we're
CCP are to be believed,
Yeah,
maybe.
You are correct.
Sometime in
Right, okay.
2025, we'll probably have a redistribution phase.
I will be like Asher's age when that happens. Okay.
So the pie in the sky numbers I'm getting for this is just people that were speculating. The pie in the sky numbers I saw was 320 build for a Titan and 120 for a Super.
Seeing some guy released like this amazing website. I forgot what it's called though, but it shows yeah. I think it was like 270 if you have T2 rigs.
Right, and I imagine that CCP has like obviously they really want to make supers fucking expensive, right? But as for everything else, like so things have been decoupled in a way, as Kenneth would say, so that you can raise the prices of supers and Titans and not necessarily affect the prices of other things. Correct? So like to all these people who are just buying everything, it's like calm the fuck down, dudes. Like you're gonna be left holding the bag on so many fucking items. It's not even gonna be funny.
It's like the boomers buying the toilet paper, right? With COVID, just panic.
And what's
well,
funny
people
is
are
the more
buying
I
up
say
like
that,
massive piles of PI, and I'm like you guys, like PI can be like very easily created. Like supply is gonna run to meet demand, and
it's like it's like that crazy uncle that lives in a shipping container or some shit. Like
what I find interesting is the more I talk about like telling people to stop, the more people are probably buying, which is great because like we've basically been stockpiling shit for the last 3 months and selling now, which is great. So we've been making fuckloads of money. Thank you very much, everybody. But I just find it absolutely incredible that like this is this is the point where we're at. The sky is falling. We're all gonna die. Game is over. I think if CCP do want to continue with this and everything's going to get insane, like they'll change their minds once all like a bunch of subscriptions start dropping, right? And that might take like a year. Like let's be honest, because that's pretty much what it took with all of the jump fatigue bullshit that they did originally, right? And then all of a sudden there's like, hey, like T2 fucking printing machines, let's go Rorkles and all this other shit, right? So
first phase of all this was scarcity. What's this? Like
no, we're still in scarcity.
This is the fisting.
I don't know, but I mean, they're increasing the complexity of building and all that. It's not scarcity because there's plenty of the materials to go around. It's just a matter of going out and getting that.
See, I'm still convinced that Rocket X is behind the scarcity thing, so he has a reason to not use caps and be a pussy.
Jesus.
Oh my god, please!
I thought it was just Tao's plan to take over Losec is just to acquire all of the resources and shit.
Dude, what if Rocket X was like CCP Fozzie with a voice changer? Wouldn't that be fucking?
No, I've met Rocket. It's not Fozzie.
Rocket and Fozzie in the same room though?
Yeah, I know.
Obviously, I know. I'm just kidding, but
did you?
What was I kidding? I was kidding. That was a joke, Bill. It was a joke.
No, was it?
I don't actually believe that Fozzie the Canadian is Rocket X.
Rocket X is 6 midgets in a suit. Everybody, congratulations! You know the terrible truth.
No hard M's, bro.
That was the hard M.
Hard M.
Midget?
We can't say that either.
How are you supposed to soft M that?
It's like the John Mulaney sketch where like he's brought into the office.
You just call him a midget, then
Like you can't say that word. If you say that word, there will be like
if you say that word, it's the same as the N word.
No. The joke was, if you say that word, there will be a myriad of little people outside protesting tomorrow. And he's like, "Do you promise?"
Oh, maybe there were multiple jokes in the same sketch, but there was he was scolded by HR for saying midget. But okay, jeez.
So
The
how
M
many?
word for little people. And,
oh boy.
So how many of you are
Nothing.
interested in Warhammer?
0.
Why were we?
What?
I was talking about Warhammer yesterday randomly for the first time in
Dude,
20 years.
So now
the
that
lore
we've
is amazing.
decided to bridge off of Eve, I have a great announcement for you guys. Are you ready?
Oh my god.
Incoming
Yeah.
Wrecking Crew. So they have no fear.
The Warhammer thing actually is relevant to what we were talking about.
No, I was actually going to say it's time for us to wrap up the show so I can go to bed.
Yeah, fuck off.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Now I'm
Oh,
playing
very
sound
nice.
bites because they're amazing. Anyway, you guys want to do final thoughts tonight? We haven't done those in a couple weeks.
Bye, Billy.
I have a. That's about the war, if that's okay.
Sure. Well, let's go from the bottom up then. If Billy has a final thought for us, we'll let him go first.
I'm good.
Okay. All right, Vert.
So, I might be out the loop. So if I am, I'm sorry. The Mitani has said that the goons aren't leaving Delve, right? Which I assume means if 1DQ gets killed, it means living in NPC Delve and harassing, which is pretty much all they can do from 1DQ at the moment. So why not just kill everything around 1DQ and leave goons to have their system to harass from, and not go through the pain of dealing with all the pain that comes with 1DQ?
Not going to be that painful.
I mean, I would imagine getting into system would be the painful part.
I don't know if the
just
premise is sound because it's going to be a lot easier for them to take Sov around 1DQ if they still have it. But if their jumping off point is NPC Delve or Iridia, then it's going to be much harder for them.
Why wouldn't we
could you
just
imagine? Go ahead.
Why wouldn't we just keep dropping keep stars until in 1DQ until one actually anchored?
That sounds like a terrible idea.
Do you have 150 bill?
I don't, but I'm sure that Pappy does as a coalition.
There's much better things to do with 150 bill, like, SRP half a Titan, apparently.
Got to a point here. I think this is a good idea, Billy. You should try this.
You can get
stop
you get a squadron. You can get a squadron of battleships.
Yeah, I gotta agree with Tom here. Drop a keep star in 1DQ every day. It'd be great.
I think it's a good idea. They might be able to pull this off. This is a wise idea. Try this next week.
You'll probably end up losing more than we would in it, just like last 4 times.
Oh, just guy at the gate and just shoot the damn thing.
I mean, red line.
Kind of a segue to this point. When is going to be the final push on 1DQ? What kind of time are we looking at? Like a year from now? 8 months from now? Like
soon TM.
It's been soon TM for 6 months, I think.
That's
what the
part
TM's
of the
for.
joke behind saying soon TM.
Whenever somebody grows some balls, dude.
We're not even going to be able to unanchor fucking Supers and Titans because they're already deleted from the goddamn game by then.
There's still goon keeps in Delve that aren't in 1DQ. So it'd be great if we could just wrap all that up before we started the siege.
What if you just took the capital and won the fight? Like, isn't that like you win the war if you take the capital, right?
Because the 1DQ wood chipper goes Bert.
And then you'd force them. Then they would jump to some other keep star.
On y'all though, so it's whatever though. Anyways, the reason is because you have to cut off all the points and make it an island. That's been the strategy for a while.
I know, Redline. I was just kidding. Okay,
It's already an island, Redline.
Why are you kidding?
It really
Why
isn't.
Are you kidding about that?
It's been an island.
Well, obviously, if you take the capital, you don't win. Like, that's not how things work anymore. It used to be that, like, if you did that, like, IRL, like, they would just surrender. Now they don't even surrender anymore. So it's just like, you just go on and on. It's a game, dude. It's fine.
If goons can still jump to a keep star, it's not an island. End of story. Tar, do you have final thoughts?
Yeah, it was awesome seeing all of you, and thank you for having me on the show, and good fight to Snuff, everybody, and see you next time. I'm off.
Fuck Snuff. All right. Speaking of fuck Snuff, how about Snuff line member? Shanna, do you have anything to say for us?
Not much. No. This is fun.
He's slandered RC and Dreadbum enough in this show. So.
Yeah, pretty toxic, not gonna lie. All right, Rain.
Slander if it's true.
No, I don't have any final thoughts. I thought the show was pretty good for like balance of shit talk, but also balance of discussion. Good job, team.
All right, Mike Flood.
Approved.
Where's the damn cookie jar? This is my question to everyone. Where's the cookie jar?
What's the cookie jar for?
Frosty doesn't have it. None of the Pan I've seen have it. Where is it?
What is the cookie jar for?
Cookies?
It's just a cookie jar. Who doesn't like cookies on mine?
I don't like cookies.
That's a dirty lie. Everyone likes cookies.
Yeah,
you're
okay.
There's no cookie better than the Publix cookie you got for free when you were 8 years old, shopping with your mom.
Okay.
No better cookie.
I'll do you one better. There was an airline, shockingly in the Midwest, called Midwest Airlines, and they would have ovens in the planes, and they would give all the unattended miners fresh baked cookies. So there.
Nice.
What
All
airline?
right. Loki, do you have
Midwest
anything for us?
I do. I'm gonna not be plugging my corp today, unfortunately. Instead, I'd like to talk to everybody about the 3 versus 3 destroyer proving grounds. The other proving grounds have basically shown to be a lot of fun. We've been having a lot of fun doing them, and I'd like to encourage everybody in the game to participate. Just please make sure that you buy a good stock of destroyers, as they are kind of flying off the shelves. Thank you.
Yeah, you guys should check out Saturday. I bet there's gonna be a lot of people playing them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
just
right,
buy lots of like T1 destroyers though, because like they're flying off the shelves actually.
Leafler?
I have nothing, man. I was bored. I just got home, so I showed up.
Great. All right, Dom.
That's the best reason to come to this show. I'm just gonna tell you right now because you're bored. Second, my shout out is going to be to Thomas Lear. It was nice hearing his voice again, and I do miss flying in his fleets. Not enough to leave the Bastion, but almost.
It's a Lear experience.
All right, Bill.
Yeah, I thought the show was good tonight. You know, a great mix of trash talking and good topic discuss. Although that Rain, she's very toxic, and I think that needs to be addressed.
Shut the fuck
I
up.
don't think anybody likes to be around. See how oppressive she is. It
But
is
she's got the
unacceptable.
Feet, she's got the feet. She can do whatever she wants.
Well, you can say that. Wait till you smell them.
Lost, dude.
Oh,
Can't say
Oh,
that.
oh, he said you got stinky feet.
burning after that move, I guess.
All right.
Like her
Wagon?
in-game feed.
Anything for us, Wagon? No? Okay. AFK? All right, and then we'll go to Gerg. Gergeran.
Final thoughts are I hope I get a dread fight this week, but I don't expect one.
Your Goran, just come over here. We'll give you a dread fight, my dude.
Got an alt, bought another dread. You can fight yourself.
Dude, I can hand you a dread. Just get your character over here. You'll definitely get a fight.
The fact that
You
the fact that I played the Pornhub intro music right before you said, right as you were saying Gergeran, come over here, is just too good for me.
I got a pizza for you. It's extra sausage, dude.
Oh, jeez. All right, Marius.
I don't have any thoughts. Head empty.
Very nice. All right, Rundle, how about you?
Yeah, I got shout out to all those pirates and low sec running the gate camps with your smart bombs, finding all those people, rushing to low sec to build those carriers before the price of carriers goes crazy. I bet you're having a fun time. Keep it up. Have an enjoyable time hauling away the loot.
Amazing.
You know what's been more fun is watching the industrialists in my group do all of the math involved in the new changes.
Yeah.
Holy fuck. Just gonna say holy fuck.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to bother with spreadsheeting that shit yet until it
Wait
actually
till
comes out
wait
because
till
it'll change.
Just wait till somebody else makes a spreadsheet and just copy that person's. Like, trust me, dude. Holy shit.
But I'm seriously, just go surfing around. You will see that the kill mails for industrial transport shit going to low sec is kind of gone up. And also shout out to the Imperium who hit the build button yesterday before the proposed changes would have gone live. 4,100 industrial jobs kicked off in 1DQ alone. Holy fuck, people. Way to be on the ball.
Oh, that was just my alts building.
Just your alts.
and stuff.
All right.
Virgin,
Yeah.
Well, holy fuck.
Yeah,
At least 10 of those are my myrmidons.
Could have been accounted for there.
I'm a well-known industrialist.
I feel like that number is pretty average for 1DQ.
No, it was a big old spike. No.
It used to be like a long
Maybe,
time
yeah,
ago.
yeah,
that was the
like a
average.
year ago, maybe, or even 6 months ago, maybe. It probably was. You're right. Not in the last little while, though.
Last 8 months.
No. But anyway,
You guys shaving your heads.
there's my shout outs for you.
Didn't you read?
Dom said
I'm
he's
doing- I'm-
shaving his head on Friday.
Oh, good. Are you?
Yeah, you guys you owe a head shaving.
I just wasn't here last week. I would have done it last Friday, but I was out drinking and bike riding.
All right then.
Wait a second.
So this Friday?
Vertiso. Somebody found the Sin kill mail.
Oh, link it.
Not an alt, I lied, is the name of the character.
Oh, that's Troll. No,
What is
it's
it?
not Troll. That's someone else.
It's an ancient kill mail, so it's taking forever
Can-
to load, but
can
there it
you-
is.
Can you link it?
I linked it in the cesspool for you.
No, I'm gonna have to go to Discord. Oh.
Where would you have wanted me to link it, dude? What do you mean?
2019's not ancient, dude. But I mean,
Redline, could you please stop crying?
It's ancient to me. As you can see, I'm in a capsule in that, but I have a light
Yeah,
neutron blaster too, so I was definitely flying something amazing.
Hell yeah, dude.
What are you
That's some
thinking?
very.
Aquatic, Catalyst, or a Scepter?
It was
Oh,
probably a
let's have a look.
Scepter.
If we click on the related button, you're in a Hecate.
Oh, Hecate, cool.
We had
I
some
was-
interesting moments.
Oh,
there's
so
some-
final thoughts? Can we argue about how Hecate's supposed to be pronounced?
No, we don't have
Sometimes
to
that
do
shit
that.
happens.
But we can talk about how that is a hull tank Hecate with only a Tech 2 warp scrambler and then like meta mods.
It's mostly a fine fit.
Would I fly that fit now? I'd have to log in first. That'd be a shame.
And
Anyways,
Redline, your show, Redline, your show, your final thoughts.
yeah, well, I'm trying to think of my final thoughts right now because I've got a couple final thoughts that I want a final thought on. The first final thought is something that people have been bugging me to do for a while, and that's to shout out the fact that I've got a Rust server and also like a game community that I'm building for people who play other games. There's a Discord. I'm gonna link it in the Twitch chat there. If you want to join it, you can feel free to join it. If you play Rust, you can come play with us. If not, we play some other games probably. For when we're not, aimlessly bashing structures and Eve. But other than that, I don't really have many final thoughts to final thought about. Well, I guess we are doing. I'm gonna set up a some sort of a get fit for the summer contest through Discord, and it is going to be there's going to be Plex for prizes, basically like lose weight, get Plex, something like that. Should be pretty fun. I think that's what we're gonna do. And
Wait till after I lose 60 pounds. What the fuck?
yeah, well, you should have stayed fat. I stayed fat so I could get the coronavirus vaccine first. No bullshit. But now
That's
that
actually-
it's smart. I know.
You should have just become a healthcare worker and you could have got it.
No.
True.
You'd
No.
be clean, poop and snot, but whatever.
Yeah, no, I'm not down for that. But anyways, you can feel free to join that Discord that I linked if you want to come play with us. If not, that's cool too. Invite your friends though; it's gonna be super fun. And then what I'm gonna do is I have just found probably the second most amazing mustache that I've ever seen in EVE Online. Belongs to a gentleman named Gory Xander, and I'm actually gonna send you guys over to him so that you can show him some love. And while I do that, I'm going to play the credits. I don't know if there'll be music. I'm not going to hype it up this time. Just going to be credits showing follows and subs and shit. So just deal with it or whatever. That's fine. And I'm going to roll those now. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next week.